up, everyone? What is up? How y'all doing? Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday, right? You ever have those weeks where you're just so mentally drained you forget what day it is? This is one of those days. What's everyone up to? Is everyone playing with their different LLMs and all of that and everything? What's up, Bedrock? How you doing? I've been playing with the, of course, LLMs and stuff. I've been playing with them for months and everything like that, but, I finally got around to, oh, you sent me one clip? Cool. I will be putting that on the tubes and the talks, later on in a little bit. I'm gonna let my, current, videos talking about, DeepSeek and running all the LLMs locally, propagate for a little while longer. Lip patch, I look like a butt plug. Yeah. I've been playing with DeepSeek. Yeah, I've been playing with it myself, trying to see what the capabilities are with my own LLM and everything. Sorry, I kicked up some dust or something when I was cleaning my machine. Yeah, so I've been playing with it myself, and it's kind of interesting. So when I was at work, I don't know if y'all have been following me on Blue Sky and Mastodon. But if you go over to my, Blue Sky or Mastodon, you will see I actually have answered the question a lot of people were talking about when it came to does, everyone's worried right now because they're like, oh, it's a Chinese, LLM. So, have you seen DeepSeek AI? I've been running it locally. I played with it last stream on their website, but I've been playing with it locally. If you didn't see my recent TikToks, I've been doing that. I'll have a YouTube video that will be easier to look up to talk about how you can run both things locally. I am going to be running an AI eventually as a chatbot inside of Twitch. Just a fun little thing that's going to, be a little bit, I'm trying to get like kind of a, not spunky, but, sassy. Want to make a sassy one. Yeah, DeepSeek AI is under attack. So this goes back into the one thing I've been saying for a while. Well, I haven't said it much on TikTok. I've said it a little bit on Mastodon and Blue Sky, which is that the tech in China is very far along. However, when it comes to cybersecurity, they are very immature. Because the honest truth is, China's had the advantage of most of the world doesn't care what's going on in China. Because all the money basically is, as the perspective is in America. So America and even the average American citizen is attacked more. So when China exposes themselves, it's interesting to see how vulnerable a lot of the things are. And what's interesting about this is I was talking on Mastodon to somebody about this. There was another creator that I actually used to follow that was from China all the time who's gone quiet for over a year, and I didn't realize it, Naomi Wu. Very famous creator over in Shenzhen. She's gone quiet, apparently, and we believe it's pressure from the government, because she was calling out the security in China with a lot of the Chinese keyboard apps and just a lot of the things and all that. So, yeah, it was interesting. Finally managed to join a stream after all these 2 a.m. streams for me. I appreciate you coming here. I know it's tough because I'm in the States and I know a lot of my audience is overseas, which is why I do my best. If you do miss a stream, the VODs will be on YouTube. The only things I cut out of the YouTube VODs is maybe when we're reviewing some YouTube videos or something like that, just because I'm lazy and I don't want to go through the whole fair use complaint thing and all that, yada, yada, yada. Eventually down the road, I'll have time for that shit. I'll build out a staff that actually can sign off those things on me and do all that stuff. But yeah, I appreciate all of you that are coming in from TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube right now. Oh yeah, VODs are on Twitch also. But yeah, the YouTube ones stay longer. So yeah, there's Twitch VODs and YouTube VODs. I think Twitch keeps them up for 60 days, but then the YouTube ones will stay up indefinitely. So, yeah. Yeah, I think everyone that's in my community and everything. But yeah, I've been playing with DeepSeek and all of that. Getting back to what I was saying, let me pull up my Blue Sky here so y'all can see what I was talking about earlier. Because there have been people that, say things like, well, does it know Tiananmen Square or something like that? The honest truth is, this is what I said earlier. You can go see it on Blue Sky as well. There's an image here, which, you can see there's this big wall of text here. You can probably scan it, download it, and look at it. But basically, it's me talking to it, asking about Tiananmen Square in the local DeepSeek AI, okay? Mind you, I was using Windows Substance for Linux. I was tinkering with this, and on another machine. And people are making a big deal about DeepSeek missing info on events like Tiananmen Square in 1989 because it's from China. Here's the reality. Like all LLMs, it was trained on specific data sets, often internet sources. Behind the Great Firewall, that data may simply exclude certain events. This isn't necessarily intentional censorship by DeepSeek itself. It's a limitation of the data it was trained on. AI models don't create knowledge. They reflect the data sets they ingest. This underscores a broader issue. AI is only as trustworthy as its training data. It's not a source of absolute truth. You must use your critical thinking. Remember the rule with computers. Garbage in, garbage out. That applies to AI too. Always question the output. And that's what I've been telling a lot of people. Because the one thing that concerns me a lot is I'm hearing this a lot from different teachers and everything like that. There are too many kids that are just going to ChatGPT and taking everything as truth. I can give you an edgelord AI that can, deny so many different horrible events and give you bad information, and you can't just take it at face value. It's the same thing as what we used to say when Googling things. Corroborate multiple sources that are credible. It's the same thing. But yeah. Tried to run DeepSeek on my own main computer, but since it was not powerful, it took a while. It will, which is why you have to play with it. So the computer that I generated that Tiananmen Square little discussion with, that is just a Core i7 with 32 gigabytes of RAM on a laptop, so nothing too powerful. Now, as we will see here, this is me playing with it. I actually had it do... I was using DeepSeek to help me craft the title and everything for the recent YouTube video I put up, and we can actually, we're on the 8B model. So the problem is, even with my setup with 64 gigs of RAM, a 5950X, and an NVIDIA 3070, I can't run some of the bigger models because I was running into issues. I think I had, what was it, the 32B model? You can see right here, so we can load this up. This is the 32 billion, 14 out of 64 offload, 12 out of 16 CPUs. That should be good enough for now. Okay, so we'll load this model up, give it a sec to load. All right. So I want you to see this. So this is my H-top right here. This is showing how much memory is used, how much CPU is under load. Okay, so we're going to have this do something, what do we want? You're gonna need more than 6 gigs of RAM. You need, like, if you're gonna do LLM stuff, you need 16 minimum. Like, no joke. Minimum. 32 is recommended. 64 is better. 128, not too bad. Like, I'm not joking. LLMs is one of the first few things. Wait, was I on myself here and I didn't show that off? My bad. So, this is, what, my specs are. I mean, my, H-top right here showing my performance and everything like that. And then this is LM Studio. I made a TikTok about this recently if you want to run things locally. You can also, of course, run it through the AI. You can also run it locally here through Olama. So I can do Olama run, let's say, what is it, DeepSeek? DeepSeek R1, I think it was. Okay, so this one I think just does the 7 billion model. Write a poem about cybersecurity. So you can see how fast this runs with this. Now, the interesting thing about DeepSeek is it actually tells it the thought process it's having. Yeah, so that's that running right now. And let me see, we can see as that's running, you can see it's using a good chunk of CPU here, okay? That is all that. Not too much RAM, but is definitely doing some stuff. So let me just check something. If I do NVIDIA SMI, I can actually see the GPU load. So it's barely doing any GPU right now. This seems to be almost all CPU right now. Did Pop Shop lag for you? Pop Shop always lags on GNOME. GNOME's just a bitch. I can't wait for Cosmic DE. Okay, so it's still doing the thing right now. And this is with an NVIDIA 3070 and a 5950X. So that's a good chunk of load. I can hear the Noctua cooler just barely louder than a whisper. Would I struggle with an i7 7700K at 4.8 gigahertz? I mean, you're still going to want a GPU for parallelized processing. But here, we got our poem. With walls of code so strong, the guardians of data's golden delight. Firewalls stand tall against breaches, shielding secrets from the brave. Antivirus software watches close, blocking spies and keeping near. This doesn't even rhyme. I can't find... What the hell? Anyway, so we got a poem there, as we can see. Now I'm going to take the 32 billion model. Do the same thing. Write a poem about cybersecurity. So this is LM Studio. Running it locally. Fastest and best DDR5 RAM. I usually just go Crucial. Crucial or, Samsung usually have the best compatibility, but Samsung's usually an OEM thing. Now, the interesting thing about LM Studio is, so this model, 32 billion parameters, is definitely a lot heavier. So look at that. That's definitely hitting the CPU a lot harder. And let's see what NVIDIA's saying there. NVIDIA's barely doing shit. Okay. So that's the problem. But DeepSeek doesn't really need as much GPU or anything. So you can see it runs extremely slow with 32 billion. You should be able to... Yeah, 1.5B should be able to run fine on it. I still use Docker. Docker's nice, but the honest truth is, like, Docker makes more sense if you're using Olama to pass things through. So you have to understand, I showed the Docker thing and the Olama entire thing for people that are wanting to program. There's a lot of people that want to do chatbots and things like that. So I'm going to eventually have a Twitch chatbot that'll run through StreamerBot to do all of that stuff. And, yeah, that's when I sit down and put my nose to the grindstone on it. GPU or CPU intensive. So right now, you're definitely CPU intensive. I got a 5950X, and all 32 threads are definitely doing a load. Not too much memory is used there, interestingly enough. And then if we do NVIDIA SMI, we can see what's, using the memory and everything. So this isn't really using much of the GPU or anything for offloading. Hold on, let me see. Is that... Hold on, what's this? Well, something's using... Well, it's using a little bit of GPU, but not too much. It's definitely leaning more on the CPU side of things for DeepSeek, which is interesting. How do you think is going to run with the GT 1030? Talking about the 7B version. Yeah, 7B should be fine. I ran it on a CPU, so CPU it ran just fine. I was running it at work with the 7B model with a Core i7, I want to say 10th or 11th gen? I mean, it took a little while, but it did fine. That's how I got the output when I was trying to test it. Are you using NVIDIA? Yeah. On Linux. Why is open source so good for DeepSeek? Well, let's put it this way. if it were not open source, you wouldn't be able to run this locally. Here's what we need to understand about why the way DeepSeek did things was so damaging to OpenAI and a lot of the tech companies. They profit off having a proprietary AI model that they can keep close to their chest and then milk us all for money from. They have one product, they keep basically reselling because they don't have to like manufacture anything. They have the same exact code, all they need is resources. Then they can sell subscriptions and they can get investors, like Apple can then buy them or anything like that. You take something like DeepSeek, have it optimized so it can even run on an Apple M processor, not even an NVIDIA GPU, you now remove the need to offload that. Because OpenAI and stuff, they depend on people paying for either using the web interface or the programmatic interface, the API, application program interface. Programmatic interface? 6, 7, 8, the other. That is why. And China, as DeepSeek explained it, why they did the things they did, they said the secret sauce isn't the software that they're creating, it's in the culture of the company that built it. I want you to think about that. OpenAI is the opposite. They need you to believe in the product. Even the culture around the company, as we know, is not that great. That's the reality of the situation. I'm using proprietary drivers. Pop! OS has it pre-installed on Linux, so I use them because I also do gaming and stuff on Linux. Where are we at? Why haven't these AI companies thought of putting the AI models on a diet to be less heavy? They do. So if you go in to discovering all the models out here, like in DeepSeek, you can see there's all these different ones. 7 billion parameters, 8 billion parameters, 14 billion parameters, 32 billion parameters. They have them all the way up to 671 billion parameters for DeepSeek. So all these have different weights, and they're also optimized for different things. So that's why there's different suggestions out there. Now, here's what I'm curious about. Yeah, and that's one requirement you need. You need AVX2, at least on a CPU, which is not that hard. But as you can see, you can set guardrails. This app is really user-friendly when it comes to basic people needing to do stuff. Olama takes a little bit more tinkering. But now you can see, after all this time, the 32 billion model. Oh, this poem is actually better. So let's compare the notes here. All right. So, for those of you that don't know, I do rap a little bit here and there. So it's like, you can see some patterns emerging here, but it's a little bit better. Night, fight, shield, sealed, armor, storm. That doesn't rhyme. I'll have to, but like you now have the poem there that we were asking it to do. We're gonna swap out the model in a sec. But yeah. Pop! OS Linux. Would you think the AI would run on an AMD Threadripper? Yeah, it'll run on a Threadripper. If I had the money, I would love a Threadripper system, but I can't justify it. The 5950X at the time was a better buy. Okay. So as you can see, it tells you how many tokens, all of that. So this is done. Now, let's try that again. But let's change it up. You know what I'm curious about? Hold on. Did I? Okay, so we did do an offload. But let's do... Let's use half the GPU offload. And give it a sec. Okay. write a poem about cybersecurity. Let's see how fast this goes with the 8 billion parameter model. See, this goes much faster. Yeah, it takes some time to get some of these running. You have to configure it to use GPU. Yeah. It benefited China as it basically fucked America, well, specifically the market. Well, the honest truth is it didn't really... I mean, China's been benefiting for a while. It's just we're waking up to the reality of things. The reality is the tech market's been needing of a correction for a long while. This worked, this helped out really well for a lot of that. Now, the one thing I'm really curious about... Hold up, let me make sure about this. Well, Tesla only grew 1/4 of a point today. But here's what's interesting. So you'll be like, oh yeah, it grew. It's still on a decline, about 4.5% over the past 5 days. And the past month, it's still down. Now, if you look at 6 months, it's great, but that's because it was on this rally. A lot of people are getting pressure on this. And what's interesting is, if we compare it, so I want you to compare this. So the tech market as a whole was a bloodbath. Nvidia went up 9%, though. Tesla's feeling a ton of pressure. And here's what's interesting. Their earnings call is tomorrow. So it'll be interesting when Tesla has to announce that car sales have dipped a little bit and how that's going to play. Why are you using Chromium and not like Firefox? I'm on Firefox. What makes you think this isn't Firefox? Hello? Firefox. Like GitHub Copilot for DeepSeek. I mean, it's got some stuff there. Where were we? China's been doing chatbots for a while. What's some good commands just starting with Kali Linux? What do you mean you're just starting with Kali Linux? Why? If you're just starting with Linux and Kali Linux, you're doing things backwards. Start with the good basic Linux. Learn basic Linux system administration first. I don't know why everyone jumps to Kali. Kali's only good to throw in a VM under Windows and then do, if you want your pre-compiled testing tool, pen testing tools, but then Parrot OS is still my preferred operating system for the pen testing stuff because it's actually designed to be a desktop. But yeah. I think everyone just wants to be edgy and be like, I'm on Kali. When really, the people that actually know cyber can pretty much take any operating system in Linux and package it with the tools they need. You can use like Black Ubuntu, Black Arch, Parrot OS, of course, is a nice one. You can get Parrot OS without the pen test tools because it's a nice OS on its own. All the clickbait hacking YouTube videos mention Kali. A lot of them do. The reality is, I tell people, like, it's good to know if you're trying to go for your OSCP and stuff like that, and you want a prepackaged thing in a VM, but all in all, don't get hooked on, like, I think a lot of people need to divorce themselves from the idea that, you know, there's one specific distro that's better than others. I know I mentioned Parrot a lot, but I know Kali ain't it. Like, Kali's nice to get your toe in the water with a lot of the pen testing stuff because it's got thing prepackaged, but like I said, you got many different options out there. Let's see. Try NV top, excellent GPU monitor. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot they had their own top thing. Mint. Don't really care for Mint that much. Is there a mini Linux laptop that you suggest? Yes, as a matter of a fact. I just don't have it in my hands right now. I ordered it a while ago. There will be content on it. I got confirmation I should be getting it within the next couple of weeks. They just shipped it from the manufacturer in Germany to the distributor in Texas, because it's one of the projects I backed like over a year ago. It'll have a cell phone modem in it. It'll have Wi-Fi. It'll have full Linux. It's open source. It's right to repair friendly. It's a tiny little mini Linux laptop that's perfect for what I need for on-the-go needs. But I don't have it yet. So bear with me. The MNT Pocket Reform. I'll show you what it looks like. Bear in mind, I ordered mine in purple. What is it? mntre.com. So I ordered it from Crowd Supply. But for those of you not aware, if you're like familiar with Kickstarter, Crowd Supply is the absolute open sourcey version. Like, go through here, you'll find like tons of little tech tinkering and hacking projects that are so interesting of all kinds of things. Like, look, GameCube, optical drive emulators. You've got mini KVMs. You've got oscilloscopes. A lot of this stuff, open source. So this company, MNT Reform, they have another laptop they're coming out with. This is their next laptop. I would love to get it, but I can't justify myself buying another laptop. I really can't. And it won't be out for another year or so. But anyway, this company, MNT, is really well known for their little open source laptops. Now, they are so open source, they do not have a presence on Twitter, and they do not have a presence on Blue Sky. They are only on Mastodon. You want to chat with them, you got to go to Mastodon. Like I keep telling y'all, you gotta be in Blue Sky and Mastodon. You gotta be on the Fediverse and you gotta be on AT Protocol to get the better part of the community. It's not like you can just go one place. Anyway, this is the laptop I picked up. I'm waiting for it to come in. Little mini guy. It's completely upgradable. So you can drop it, you know, it's with a Raspberry Pi RP24 microcontroller for the keyboard, mechanical keys, it's got backlit keys, it's an aluminum case, trackball mouse, and it's even got Ethernet. It's an iX industrial plug, so it's a little bit different, but it's got USB-C PD for that. This is the motherboard here, so you got an NVMe slot, you've got your M.2 slot for, you know, additional Wi-Fi or cell. In my case, I'm adding a cell modem there. There's the SIM card little holder, as you can see, and that's where you put the CPU, 8,000 milliamp hours, and there's it exploded. It's completely right to repair friendly. Can you run League of Legends on that thing? No. For two reasons. One, find a better game that isn't with a toxic community, and two, they have an anti-cheat that doesn't work on Linux. But I mainly don't play it for reason number one, not because of number two. Let me make that very clear. You know, it's very telling when my coworkers at work that play League of Legends won't even share their League of Legends name with each other. Because they're like, I don't want you to see what I'm like outside of work. They're like, I'm pretty toxic. Do they ship to the US? Yes. Yes, they do. Look, dude, I'm in the US. So, yeah, this was the MNT Pocket Reform. So the version I'm getting comes with an MX8M Plus, 8 gigs of RAM, 4-core CPU, but the versions you buy now do not have that. They have a different CPU. So you can buy them direct from them. You can get it with in purple or black. It comes with an A311D by default, or you can get an RK3588. Ideally, I want to get to an RK3588 to upgrade to, but the issue with the RK3588 package that they currently have is that doesn't have Wi-Fi built in, which means I have to take my cell modem out that I'm adding so I can add a Wi-Fi card. Now, when I talked to them a few weeks ago, I remembered something about they're eventually going to make another RK3588 package that has Wi-Fi built in so that I can keep that option. But either way, imagine rocking, what is it, an 8-core CPU with 32 gigs of RAM and 256 gigabytes of eMMC in a tiny little netbook like that for full Linux. So you can go buy these right now. It's not that expensive for, what, is all in there, considering everything, the R&D, all of that, and the fact that it's a low volume computer. It's an aluminum case. $850 if you want to get it DIY. $900 if you want it assembled. But they don't require any soldering or anything like that. Just reported an account impersonating you on TikTok, FY. Yeah, I've reported so many to TikTok, but TikTok don't do shit. Okay, so, are we trying DeepSeek today? Well, we were trying DeepSeek the other day. We were playing with it a little bit more with the LLM studio that I, was spinning up. I also made a few TikTok videos. So for those of you that are curious about how to run, LLMs locally, you can go check out my 2 most recent TikTok videos. They actually will help you out with that. I'm going to make a YouTube video eventually going into this, because the issue that I have with TikTok is I have a lot of my community that keeps coming like, yeah, this one TikTok that had this information, and TikTok is horrible at searching. So I'm trying to recreate a lot of the content that I made on TikTok educationally on YouTube, so that way a lot of my community not only can see it in a longer form content that also YouTube pays better and all that, but you can also have a better way to search and store that content. So if you aren't following the YouTube already, yeah, do that. What if it's real though? Decoder. Thoughts on Open Web UI? I'm not familiar with that one. Molvad or Proton VPN? I like both for different reasons. Molvad's more private. Proton is more secure. There's a difference between the two. But if you're just using an everyday VPN and stuff like that, like say you're on the go traveling and you're on a hotel and you want to watch Netflix and all that, Proton's the better choice. If you're just like wanting the privacy kind of thing, Molvad is what I use when I'm at DEF CON with my privacy laptop, the reasonably secure laptop that runs Purism, Librem 14, and Cubes OS. I should bring that down someday because I got to do some updates on it. I got the 32B model running on my desktop today too. Got it 70B to run really slowly. Yeah, I got to get a better GPU for a lot of that. Mini Linux, senior 3D printing video. Be a little bit more specific. Can it run Doom? Of course. NV Top, yeah, I gotta remember that. I remember Linux when I was a kid. Fun game. Been using Linux since I was like 9, on and off, and then regular was that. I just seen Nvidia's jamming. Yeah, Nvidia spiked up. Most attractive. After the Red Star OS stream, I've just been willingly handing my data over to Kim. I think I've been talking to him. He's a little kinky. So whenever I get bored, I make memes on Red Star OS, like, because if it's reporting back to Kim Jong-un, I want people to see the glory of Kim Jong-un memes. I use Portainer for Docker. Yeah, Portainer's good. Clickbait, YouTube hacking. Watch skid TikToks about hacking your neighbor's Wi-Fi. Yeah. DeepSeek is crazy, Chief. It's not too crazy. The crazy part is they open sourced it. And that's what scares a lot of these AI companies, because we can take that LLM and do whatever the hell we want with it, wrap it in Olama, and boom, suddenly we have our own GPT. Very capable. So like all those people are like, it's giving your data to China. I'm like, fuck you, mine's local. Like, we're running DeepSeek locally right now. I want to get an NVIDIA Jetson dev system, if possible, to like have that as an Olama container that I can then pipe through a Python script for my Twitch bot. I might be overthinking it. I might be over-architecting it, but I like that kind of way. I have a virtual machine running my NAS. Interesting. There's an account impersonating you messaging me. Yeah, I got a lot of impersonators, unfortunately. I've reported like hundreds to TikTok, and they haven't done shit about any of those accounts. So, yeah, report anyone other than the only 2 accounts I have. I only have 2. Chief Geek 3D and Chief Geek 3D Printer. It's spelled the same way, just add printer at the end. Anyone else? Not me. And the second one is my ADHD account, and I've been so ADHD I forgot to log into it, so I'm going to go back to making some ADHD content eventually. Are you telling me Linux users don't change their MAC address every day? The majority of people don't change their MAC address, and we don't need to. I use Mint because I'm a normie. 1.7b is working. Okay, we've talked about that all because you're exactly the quarter of TikTok I want to be in. Nice. Just remember, there's no guarantee TikTok's still going to be around, so make sure to follow me on other platforms. I'm on Blue Sky, I'm on Mastodon, I am on YouTube, I'm on Twitch. So, if TikTok ever goes away, I'm not going away. I'll just be over here. Your website. What website? Need more friends in tech. Well, you got plenty of friends in here in tech. And if you need more people, if you need a community in tech, feel free to join the Discord as well that I run. It's in the links in bio, or you can go to discord.chiefgeek3d.com. I have a 302 that always redirects it to the proper Discord invite. Tons of people there. I think we're a little over 900 people there right now. Cybersecurity, tech, tinkerers of all sorts of levels. Every skill level is welcome, so make sure to check the Discord community out, and as well as the Matrix server. If you know about Matrix, the decentralized messenger and all that, I have my own Matrix server as well, as in I run my own Matrix server. It's not I'm joining matrix.org. There is matrix.chiefgeek3d.com. What should I do with the Pi Zero? You can do a lot of things. I've once made a Nintendo emulator with it that was on the go that I used to bring friend to friend house. This was a cryptocurrency wallet using the Trezor software. I've done that, and it's basically the same thing as this. The Model 3 Trezor Safe, except this doesn't have a secure element, but it's running the same software. I can use this with the Trezor suite. That was kind of interesting. It's just a Raspberry Pi hat on there, and then I can plug it in with a USB micro connection, and it's a full wallet. Of course, no secure element. It's just got an SD card, so if anyone gets physical access to it, of course, game over. Whereas this is a little bit more secure, but then again, you get physical access, game over regardless. Sell some of your current laptops. No! They have purposes. I start ordering some of that stuff. My own colleagues are going to question why I'm ordering this stuff. I've had so many people at data that question why I order a lot of the shit I do myself. What did tech bros do before the Industrial Revolution? They were probably the people running the Industrial Revolution that, were just siphoning wealth in different ways. That's probably what they were doing. ENT, ear, nose, and throat. I don't know. So can you make calls with that cell modem? Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. You can make calls on Linux. You can. There's packages out there. In fact, both of these, they're not charged right now. Both of these are full Linux phones. Not Android. Linux. This is the Purism Librem 5. This is the Pine phone with the Pine keyboard. Admittedly, they're both clunky devices. I don't recommend them for daily usage, but they're fun to play with. This was an overpriced phone. Don't get this. Get this if you want to tinker. But again, get yourself like a prepaid SIM card. Don't use this as your primary. Thank me later. Because, like, the battery life ain't great on this. The keyboard does... Like, you need the keyboard just to have enough battery to make that phone last the entire day. There's still so much that needs to be optimized in terms of, like, Linux on a phone until it's ready. And GUI and power optimizations and so many other things. So, yeah. You can make calls. You can make texts. In fact, I was planning to have a package that allowed me to do texts from the MNT Pocket Reform, so that way I could give that number to some friends that could text me and be like, hey, yo, what's up? I mean, if I'm paying for the cell line to do it anyway, why the hell not? Just switched from Windows to Garuda, and oh my god, wish I switched sooner. 1 to 2% idle CPU. That's Linux in general. That's Linux in general. You have to understand this. They've proven, although let me make this very clear. I do not recommend installing this kind of Windows. But Windows, if you strip out all the telemetry, there's versions of it. It can idle very, like, near zero. It's all the extra bloat and crap that Microsoft has added on that makes Windows very clunky. Because if Microsoft didn't go the way they did with Windows, it'd actually be a good operating system. but instead, we're here. The first time my friend went on VC on League of Legends, she was immediately told to go back. Yep, see, that's the kind of crap we're talking about in League of Legends. Of course, then again, overall gaming is toxic, but League of Legends as a whole, like, the fact that I have so many female friends that tell me they can't have their mic on in that kind of a game is a red flag to me. It really is. How to fix privacy error in Windows. Okay. Here's how you fix your privacy errors in Windows. You install Linux. Yeah, that's pocket size. Yeah, the MNT Pocket Reform, that's pocket sized. Are you using the Tiles version of Linux? No, I'm just using the base Pop OS. I'm a basic bitch these days because when you deal with Linux for so many years and you're tinkering and everything, you're just happy that it works out the box and you don't have to deal with it. Also, nobody noticed my t-shirt. New shirt. Nobody noticed it. Some of y'all don't even know what that is. And if it wasn't for this, Apple wouldn't exist as it currently is. Get the Clockwork Pi U console. That's been on my list. It's just there's so many different things. Do with the Pi Zero. Previously had a Pi Hole, then I bought an OpenWRT router. Yeah, there's so many different things with a Pi Zero, like I said. A developer in VS Code. Not a developer, but I use VS Code in my cybersecurity engineering work. Can you recommend a VPN to me, please? Okay. As I've talked about many times, before you go blanket, just like saying, I need a VPN to do this, there's a video that I actually made on YouTube. I think this was a few weeks ago. It's called something like, what was the title? I can't remember exactly off the top of my head. It is VPNs. Hold on. The truth about VPNs, overhyped, misunderstood, and not a silver bullet. So if you go watch that first, over on YouTube, it's a little bit long. It'll give you an understanding that most of the privacy benefits a lot of people claim to have with the VPN, they're not really there. Most of it has to do with user behavior. It's more about how you use the internet than how you access the internet. Now, with that being said, if there's a reason you actually need to use a VPN, like say you're in one of the states and you want to access the certain hub that's orange and black and begins with boom, Proton VPN is probably the one that I would recommend on a daily basis if you're just using it to connect to regular services and get around geo-blocks and use streaming while you're traveling and all that. But overall, most VPNs don't really do anything to help you out anymore. And if you're just if you're just in your home in a trusted network, and the whole idea is you want to be secure in your home network, it's not worth it. I really only use a VPN when I'm trying to make it look like I'm from somewhere else when I'm in my house, or when I'm out in public Wi-Fi and I don't trust the network I'm on. That's about it. But with that being said, let's move on. Can you recommend a good computer you need to learn Linux and admin and security? I've got a Discord community. You're in that community. You get accepted to the Skylight Beta. I have the Test Flight app on my iPhone. I just haven't gotten around to actually doing anything with it. I've been so busy. VPN use WireGuard. It can use WireGuard or OpenVPN or L2TP, or even if you're really that much of a masochist, PPTP, because that should not be used anymore. It depends on how it's configured. Is it possible to run AI like ChatGPT locally without internet, and how? Well, Yaba Hushy, you just so happened to come in on my live after I made the 2 TikToks talking about how to do that, and I can show you how to do that because I'm doing it right now. This right now, there's 2 ways I do it, and you can go into my TikTok to show how I get it done. This is Olama. We are running DeepSeek right now. You can run any kind of AI if you want. So if I want Olama run Mistral, which is another LLM you can work with. There we go. Say hi to Yaba Hashi. There you go. Look at that. Or you can use LM Studio. This is using DeepSeek 8 billion parameters right now. It's thinking. It's thinking. DeepSeek does a little bit more thinking than Mistral does. Mistral's just kind of boom, which is why Mistral is going to be probably the LLM I use for when I'm making my little Twitch chatbot soon. See, like, it overthinks it. It seems like you're saying hi to, say hi in a unique way or trendy way, possibly using the term Yabahashi. However, it's overthinking it. No, the username is Yabahashi. Alright, so, let's see. Yes, check out TikTok. When will North Korea develop a TikTok and create a revolutionary AI and turn their country into a publicly traded stock? So, step one, have consistent power. Step two, have more than... How many IP addresses does North Korea have? Let's see. How many does North Korea have? Step two, have more than... How many... Damn it. How many IP addresses do you have? Oh, yeah. Have more than 1,024 IP addresses for the whole country. Step three, have a reliable internet. But that comes with step one. I mean, it requires step one. So, no, they ain't gonna do shit. Have you tried the new Cosmic Pop OS? Not yet. I don't think it's out and stable yet. I'll eventually get around to it once it's available. I work too much on my main PC to just tinker around with stuff like that other than throw it in a VM once in a while. I need a hi-fi open source ML39 player. What, ML39? I think you had some typos there. I do have an open source MP3 player coming in that's going to be replacing my iPod Classic. That'll be here Thursday, so unless there's shipping delays, that will be there. And again, this is why you should follow me on Blue Sky and Mastodon, because I do chat a lot on there about my different things coming in and happening and planning, because ADHD. Open Web UI is a web UI for Olama. Oh, I haven't played it. Red Note? Yeah, I have a Red Note. I have Xiaohongshu. I just haven't posted on there in a few days. I need to. 73 days. Was that how long for until the TikTok possibly gets banned? Skylight feels like a good step in the right direction. It does. There's another dude, Productions MG, I think it is the one doing it. He has another app he's working on for Blue Sky. Now, the cool thing about his app is, so Skylight is video only. His app is all of Blue Sky. Video, pictures, texts. So you get kind of like the TikTok experience of scrolling, where you can get, you know, all sorts of content just coming through. It's a novel way to approach Blue Sky if you just want to have it come through. And my thought with that was, how cool would it be to take a Raspberry Pi and then actually attach that to like a LCD, make like a picture frame of like the Blue Sky network just going through, just like have it like auto scroll through, so like there's always a constant feed of what's going on in Blue Sky. So it's like, hey, there's a meme, hey, there's a post, you know, like I think that'd be cool just to have it like kind of just doing a thing to get the vibe of the network. Your connection is not private. Error, how to fix in Windows. I think that's because your local network is not set right. I forget, I don't use Windows, so I haven't seen that error in a while. But I know what you're talking about. WireGuard a good VPN? WireGuard's a VPN protocol. It's a good protocol. But it depends on the provider you're using. And y'all need to understand that You still got to trust the VPN provider. You still got, there's so many things that go in. And again, going back to my point, y'all would be better served by actually thinking about how you use the internet, as in where you're logged in, what information are you giving out, and all of that, than it would be about how you access the internet. Like, as we've seen before, like, how many people out there were, like, feeding the bullshit about, just use the VPN to access TikTok? Yeah, that didn't work. Weirdly enough, occasionally connecting through Tor would work with TikTok during the ban, but it was kind of eh. Why did they make it open source? What? What do you call it? DeepSeek? Because they said it themselves. The magic sauce is not in the product that they're creating, but the culture of their company. That's why they said it. That's why they open sourced it. Meredith Whittaker is not controlled opposition. Y'all need to stop with that bullshit and save enough tinfoil for the rest of us. Because, god damn it, I didn't have enough tinfoil to do my baked potato the other night because y'all fucking used it for all your conspiracy theories. MP3 player. Yeah, come back, what is it, Thursday? Thursday we'll have the Tangara open source music player, which is based on an ESP32. I backed that like over a year ago, and it's finally being shipped. So that will be coming soon. Thoughts on the Zero Trust hype in Corp? Every suit is talking like it's going to solve world hunger. Zero Trust is actually something we should work towards, because Zero Trust network access actually makes sense. Although it's still kind of an implicit trust on one vendor or anything like that. But the honest truth is it actually makes a lot of sense. It helps us a lot with our audits and everything like that, because if you don't have anything drop on the wire, there's less information to sniff. So like if somebody comes into your physical building, they jack in, oh no, 802.1x shut out. Oh, if you actually do get past the 802.1x, oh, suddenly you don't really see anything because it's not on the wire. I love Zscaler. Zscaler. Sponsor me. Sponsor my lab. I will back it up for Zscaler. Android is kind of Linux. It's not kind of, it is. Thanks for helping me make sure I didn't have any viruses like 2 years ago. Oh, appreciate it. I don't know your specific case. I'm sorry. I just do it so many times, but you're welcome. What I do. It's what I'm here for. To help y'all learn and do all that. You're not like Eisenberg, Brunel, or Richard Turvit. Who? The lead room is cool in the memory upgrade. Oh, those guys innovated steam engines. Okay. I'm not a steam engine guy. The lead room is cool in the memory upgrade. Well, yeah, they did a little memory upgrade, but yeah. It would, my friend uses tiny Windows 11 on his laptop. Oh, Linux or Windows for gaming? I use Linux. We'll be doing gaming on Linux in a little bit. I can save money now, want to eat, getting money in the dick. I'm even trying when I sleep. Wake up to getting bread, bitch. I do this for the streets. ADHD. Thank you for that sub there, Productions MG. I appreciate you, buddy. Appreciate you. I noticed, but I have no idea what the logo was. Next Computer. So, Next Computing. When Steve Jobs got fired by Apple, believe it or not, Steve Jobs got fired by Apple in the 1990s. Apple was struggling. He went to form Next Step Computing. Next Step Computing was the way that Apple brought him back in, because Next Step Computing and all the whole Next Computing was the basis for Mac OS X. If it were not for this, Mac OS X wouldn't exist. Neither would the iPhone. They all were the building blocks. In fact, if you look at some of the API calls inside of Mac and iOS, they still reference NS underscore. Next step. So, yeah. Having fun on an Obsidian NX4 Lightning console at the moment. Ooh, that sounds fun. BTW, is there a way to install an app outside of App Store? With iOS inside the USA, no. If you're in the EU, you have the possibility to install an app through a sideload on iOS. I don't know much about that, but I know the EU is pushing for that. I don't know if it's fully done or that, but I know it's a possibility, or it's coming, or whatever. I don't know too much about that side of it. I haven't had the opportunity to play it. But in terms of Android, you just get the APK and install it. I've been using Surfshark VPN for years, unlimited login and device, even Linux CLI. Nice. I haven't really used Surfshark. I've just been... Proton's bundled into my email and everything I've used when I decommed my email server and went with them. I stopped getting emails from my ISP after I got Proton VPN. Probably because you were doing shit that violated the law. I know what you were doing.
I won't deny you, I'm a straight rider.
Aren't the models taking up a lot of space? Do you know how much space I have in this workstation alone? This isn't counting the 8 terabyte NAS I have over in my rack. This desktop here has a 2 terabyte NVMe for the main boot. A 1 terabyte NVMe, which was originally for the Windows secondary boot, but then the Windows boot kept messing things up, so now it's wiped out and it's just another scratch disk. So I got 3 terabytes of NVMe. But wait, I've got two 2 terabyte SATA SSDs in the back of the machine here, because originally, before I got my NAS, that was the backup. Those have been wiped out for scratch. So I've got 7 terabytes in this tower right here. I got plenty of space. Where would be a good starting point for teaching AI as a tool to a child? First, what you do is you show them iRobot and show them the folly of trusting AI too much. After you get them scared to the living shit of that, and then you turn them on to Terminator. After you do that, they have healthy respect of AI. Then you can teach them to LM Studio. I'm sorry. I just had to. No, this app right here, LM Studio, I have a TikTok, one of my most recent TikToks. Go watch it. It will show you how you can grab LM Studio. That's what I use to do LLMs locally. I've cleaned out all my AI, my chats and everything here because I had like dozens of them in there. But yeah, LM Studio is probably one of the easiest ways to do things. They won't need a super powerful computer to do the basic LLMs, but they'll need at least a CPU, like a i5, i7 would be better, 16 or 32 gigs of RAM, and if they don't need a GPU per se, but it wouldn't hurt to give them a basic NVIDIA. They don't have to have anything special, like, hell, an NVIDIA 3050 would be more than enough, to be honest. They'll be happy gaming, they'll be happy doing an AI thing. It won't be the super most powerful thing, but you can start getting them there, get them to talk with it. I've got my nieces playing with AI and stuff too, because they're teaching themselves how to code and everything. She's dealing with it to learn about Unity and stuff. But you also have to teach them that you can't trust AI as a complete truthful source. AI can be wrong. How much GPU, RAM, and storage is required? The LLM stuff, it depends on the model. At work, I was dealing with an i7 11th gen CPU and 32 gigs of RAM, no GPU. This machine over here, NVIDIA 3070, 64 gigs of RAM, NVIDIA Ryzen 9 5950X. So it depends. I mean, obviously, the more resources you have, the more you can throw at it. But you can also use some of the smaller models. I have some people saying, I think it was, don't quote me on this, they've got Raspberry Pis, these little inexpensive computers here. I think this is like $50, $60, this version. running the 1.5 billion parameter models of LLMs. It's not the most robust thing, but it at least will get you there. You can also even get like the NVIDIA Jetsons that are like $250. They're hard to find right now because every developer is going after them. I want one too, and they have a decent amount of GPU power in them and everything. Eventually, I'll get the a Jetson. Okay, so, finally getting my home lab set up. Got a Cisco Nexus 9396 PX at Chief. Oh, nice, Spite. Happy hacking, buddy. We're not sure how much websites they have. Ooh. What websites? Oh, North Korea? Is that? Yeah, okay. Yeah, reliable power would be a good starting point for North Korea. Yeah. Do that, not hard. My ultimate goal is to have live on Blue Sky. Being able to go live on Blue Sky would be really nice because Twitter does have that feature. I don't want to go live on Twitter. But I would like that capability. Now, in the Fediverse, I can go live on Owncast or PeerTube and then watch that through Mastodon. That is a possibility. So what I'm thinking is you wouldn't really necessarily go live through Blue Sky. You'd go live through AT Protocol, and then you could be able to view it through Blue Sky. I think that would be really cool. You know, start having different apps on the AT Protocol. That's the way I think we need to start going towards it, rather than building on top of Blue Sky for this feature set. Because that seems out of place from microblogging. The only thing I want Blue Sky to do, add a damn edit button, because apparently they can do it on the AT Protocol. You can edit on the AT Protocol. They just haven't implemented in Blue Sky. And up the characters from 300 to 500. That's the only thing I want Blue Sky to do at the moment. And decentralize the infrastructure a little bit more. But that's more of on us, to be honest. I'm actually trying to work on a project which is like Discord, but Fediversified. So I'm still researching into it, but completely deployable, and theoretically you could be in as many servers as you want. I'm still scratching the basic lines, like the thing is my Fantasyland. Bro, you're reinventing the wheel. Let me simplify this for you, all right? Matrix Protocol. Done. Matrix Protocol. That's what this is. Matrix Protocol. Discord, basically, decentralized. Yeah. This is my little Matrix server. And you can even see, you guys know Louis Rossman? He has his own Matrix server. And you know what's interesting? Yep, see? The official Matrix community space for Rossman Repair Group. Alright? Now his is on matrix.org. But I'm on chiefgeek3d.com. Yeah. So, Matrix Protocol already does that. You're kind of reinventing the wheel for what they're doing. Hello. Which DeepSeek R1 do I need to download to just to FOFO route with? Any of them will do. The base one with 7 billion parameters will be more than enough. That's this one right here. I'm using this. You got the 7 billion and 8 billion. So I've got the R1 Distill Llama, and then with the Quen one right here is also nice too. So either one of those, pretty great to mess around with. Most computers should be able to run them, unless you're on like a lower power system like a Raspberry Pi, then drop that down to like the 1.5 billion. And you can easily grab that by going to the search item over here, and you can see like you can get all these different ones over here that have different amount of parameters. So you can have like DeepSeek Coder over here, and then it's just as simple as you just download the thing, and then it'll download the model. This is LM Studio. Makes it very easy for, you know, everyday use. It's in terms of AI or LLMs that you want to play with. Ollama, which I was showing off a little bit earlier, is great to wrap things around or at least play a little bit. So eventually I'm going to use Ollama on a machine to tie into StreamerBot to be an occasional chat bot. and I'm gonna make a sassy little GPT bot that's gonna be hanging around in the Twitch chat, and then every few chats, it's just gonna chime in and bust the chops. Yeah. Just Dev already, for some reason, gets the ire of the other bot from Frosty Tools, which has been funny as shit. Running on an i9 48 gigabyte set 3070 Ti, probably in a Docker container. Yep, that should be pretty fine for that. Toy Story Pixar. Wait, what? What, Kara? Mention Window Maker. Girl Scout cookies. I'm lost in the context of these few things. Aurora App Store or F-Droid. There's so many different things with Android to grab it secondhand. If you're developing on iOS, use Expo. If you're developing on iOS, you need a bottle of whiskey to question your sanity. Random question. Is it possible to run a command on Mac OS startup? Yes, it is. I don't remember the exact steps what I used to do back in the day. But essentially, when I ran a Mac, there's ways to do init scripts, and it's the same with Linux. You just call upon them at boot. I'm pretty sure things have changed a little bit, but it totally can be done. You can call upon things at boot. Best way to teach AI to a child is teach them to communicate. Communication is how you succeed with AI by properly prompting the AI. That's a good point. All the time. Yeah, LLM takes a while to load or cached. I figured out how to use AMD for machine learning in Linux. Yeah, you can use fuck, I forgot. OpenCL. I think it's OpenCL. You can use that stuff inside of AMD. AMD isn't as bad for GPU stuff, general purpose graphic processing unit stuff. It's just CUDA has a really strong edge on things. That's what it is. Is DeepSeek the only AI that's open sourcey? No, absolutely not. We got tons of them. So, here, 1 second. Let me open up the Ollama library. They're a little bit easier to search than that. You can grab any of these. There's so many different LLMs out there. Y'all are just hyping about DeepSeek because China! But the reality is, what DeepSeek is doing is nothing really that new. It just happened to be something that ended up catching the eye of people. Like, look at this. We're still scrolling. We're still scrolling. And now we hit the bottom. But there's a lot of LLMs out there. So, yeah. This is nothing new, what I'm teaching you. The reality is, it's just hyped up in the news right now because the market is freaking out, because a bunch of people finally saw DeepSeek, they open sourced the thing, and then boom! What is that? That's the Ollama library site. That's the site that I talk about on the TikTok video about how to use Ollama. Which, by the way, I think TikTok's been suppressing some of my videos because I have a video that, like, barely cracked 1,000, not even cracked 1,000, and there's, like, so many likes on it that the ratio doesn't make sense. The way to do it is announcing you're going live through the AT protocol. PDS will propagate it. The problem is hosting, etc. freely like IPFS. We need to host WebRTC somewhere. Yeah, that's like how PeerTube and Owncast work. So they both work with the ActivityPub protocol. They are their own systems. They just use ActivityPub to announce it and allow the commenting through. If you're doing it that way. Got any certification recommendations for comp sci juniors? I'm trying to be a full stack dev. I'd focus more on your experience and everything there than the actual certs. I do have a video on YouTube that I would really help you out that I made a while ago. Do you really need college or boot camps to get into IT and cybersecurity? I made that about 3 months ago. That will walk you through certs that I recommend, more from a cybersecurity side of things, to be honest. But also, like, the advice that I give a lot of people when you're like, oh, I just got my degree, focus on the experience, get internships, do home labbing projects, get yourself a GitHub profile, do all those things, get active on the GitHub profile, make a WordPress blog or something, document your journey of your home labbing and tinkering and all that. And then on top of it, if you're going to be working in, comp sci and all that, buy a domain, host all that nicely, get yourself an email, because when you go to job time, you got a professional name like timmy@smith.com, and then you can go to the smith.com blog, and then you can, see my GitHub profile. That will matter a lot more than the certs, because here's the reality. It's going to be like, oh, great, this guy's got a lot of pieces of paper, but he has no experience. That's the honest truth. So, internships, internships, journal your progress, home labbing, do those little things to stand out. The professional email is just kind of the cherry on top thing. And then certs, you can get like the certified in cybersecurity, things like that. But the honest truth is, like, having too many certs out the gate will work against you. The reality is, if you go to a hiring manager and they see no experience, no curiosity, no self-projects, and only papers, they're just going to say this is a professional student. And the other thing you need to understand, I'm going to, crash some expectations for you. Your first 2 to 3 years of your career might suck. I'm going to be honest with you. That's for any career. You got to pay your dues. You're going to be doing help desk. You're going to be doing a lot of, you got to embrace the suck. Do that for a few years, you'll be there. But remember, it takes time, it takes, patience, and it takes persistence. And you also have to show in tech as a whole, that you are willing to devote time outside of work to continue your profession. Don't expect any field in IT to be the kind that you can come in 8 to 5, punch out, and you're done. You're going to want to devote at least 2 hours, ideally 10 hours per week at least, to bettering yourself in your career. And that doesn't mean that it's all tinkering. It could be watching videos to learn about new cybersecurity stuff, reading the news, all these different things. You want to improve your skills outside of work. Tech as a whole is that kind of field where if you do not keep on learning, you're dead. Once you plateau your knowledge in this field, you're dead. That's the honest truth. This field changes too fast. See you later, Prisms. Thanks for dropping in. I know it's 2 a.m. for you. It's really late. I really appreciate it. Happy hacking, buddy. Go get some sleep. And if you don't go to sleep, I will call your mom. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, buddy. I don't know his mom. Maybe. Have you ever thought of making your own AI? No. Ain't nobody got time for that. There's always pizza restaurants everywhere. Add something better to what already exists. Like my future app, Blue Scroll. It's unique. Hey, nice. LOL, more bots. Firelight, man. Hey, thank you, Trey. Chief is AI. Well, if you want to think about it, artificial means man-made. My parents just created me. My dad spent a few minutes of time, and my mom spent 9 months, and here I am. How come you use IT skills to help with situation in USA? Not really sure this is an IT situation thing. The most you could do is, see, the thing is, at most I'd recommend a LoRa encrypted radio when you're at protests unless you're covering it as a journalist or something like that. There's not much you can do in that kind of thing. That's just my perspective on things. And then in terms of all these people organizing, y'all got to stop organizing on centralized media. Stop organizing on Discord. Stop organizing on Twitter and, all that. Go to Matrix. Better yet, figure it out offline. But you got to figure out decentralized solutions. Because the problem is, if it's centralized, you're all in one place. You control it. Don't matter. Left, right, whatever. I don't care. That's the reality. I do look at TikTok. You just got to realize I got 3 different platforms chatting with me at the same time. Why so many people trust Pop OS? It's based in America. I don't see why that works against it. Let's see. Red Hat. Isn't that an American company too? Yeah, Red Hat's owned by IBM. Okay. You've got so many different Linux things that came out of America. That's the reality of it. A lot of the American companies put money into tech, and a lot of it is open source. And yeah, Pop OS is made by an American company, but it's open sourced. That's why we like it. We like the Linux because it's open sourced. Is Hackintosh legal to use? Yes, for personal use. Not for corporate use. So, technically speaking, it's not even allowed for personal use. Technically. But it's like this weird gray legal area. But you can absolutely not use it in a corporate world. That is sure to get you a heavy fine from Apple per their licensing. One could get away for it for personal use because what are they going to do? That's a gray area. Only Twitch I've ever subscribed to is True Georgia. Oh. Okay. Jordy, I don't know. Can I play Bloxburg? I don't know what that is. Bro, if you have a 9900X and 4080 and 64 gigs of RAM, I'm sure you can play any game. You can even play, what is it, the Star Citizen. You'll be fine. Hey, Psycho Squirrel. How do I use Olama agents? Hey, Dio, how's it going? I've only used Olama locally, but Olama allows an API. So if you check their GitHub, give me 1 second. If we go to Olama, you can see there's documentation down here. Hold on, there we go. They have a REST API. So you can plug that through. So you can either have it local on your machine and then pipe it through 11.434, or if you want, you could host it on another machine and then just replace localhost with the IP, make sure it's open up at the firewall and everything, and then pass it through. So that's how a lot of these different companies wrap Olama on these different things. There's a lot of things using Olama. So it's a great little tool to use. Best laptop for IT students. The Dell Vostro wasn't too bad. I know they changed their names though on different laptops there. Get the business line of Dell, Lenovo ThinkPads, System 76 makes great laptops. Yeah, ideally you're gonna want a Windows or Linux laptop for students, depending on what you're trying to do. If you're in STEM, you might lean more towards Linux, especially if you're using like MATLAB and stuff like that. Freedom don't work, no. You want to tell me that my Yahoo email isn't professional? Nah. What boots can I learn about, AI or tech? I mean, AI is just part of tech, really. It's worthwhile to understand the concepts and stuff like that, but the honest truth is, AI is definitely in a little bit of a bubble state, as proven by the fact that DeepSeek like wiped out so much wealth from the markets. Focus on tech as a whole. AI is merely a tool. That's all it is. We're in the same hype phase as a lot of people were years ago about blockchain. You still got a bunch of crypto bros that still haven't moved on from, the fact that blockchain ain't a magic cure for everything. Is learning Golang worth learning in 2025? I'm not much of a coder. I do more Python and Bash in my cybersecurity engineering stuff. Some people say they do Golang, but I hear more people doing Rust, if anything. That's at least the scuttlebutt when I'm at work and I'm talking to people. There's been this big push to try to move to Rust. That's a whole other discussion. That I don't really have too much equipment other than I keep hearing it. Let's see. I feel like with the software engineering side of tech, there's less certs and less emphasis on certs. Yes, but there are certs in terms of cybersecurity. So this is what a lot of software engineers don't realize. There's a lot of cybersecurity jobs that want to get coding experience. There is, like, what is it, the CCSLP or something like that? ISC Squared has a cert for secure software. That is a good cert to get. You're going to need a few years of experience. That can open the door for a lot of coders that want to know security, because secure coding and secure coding processes is a very high in demand job that is not very often filled. Cybersecurity tends to be the department that doesn't have a lot of people doing a lot of coding things. Like, to cement that point, in my department, we have about close to 40 people in cybersecurity. I'm one of, like, 3 people that just knows how to use Git. Just Git, not coding, just Git. Knowing how to do version management. And I've had to teach the rest of the team how to manage Git, write the documentation, how to use Git. I'm the only one there that knew how to use Windows Subsystem for Linux. And I had to teach the others how to do it because there were some tools that ran in Linux. So, yeah. Continuous learning is very important. It's do or die in this field. Either you keep learning or you basically find yourself out of the job pretty quick. What do you do? SOC software, cybersecurity engineering. I deal with a lot of the security platforms and vulnerability management and stuff like that. Also TikTok. Mastodon, run a server, organize and close it periodically. Pop! OS is not based in America. It's open source. Well, it's based... System 76 is based in America. They're in Colorado. But Pop! OS is open source. Do you have RHCSA? And if so, how difficult was it? No, I don't have that. I have a CISSP. What are we talking about? Tech in general, and wherever my ADHD goes. Thoughts on Pebble coming back? Isn't that the watch? That smartwatch thing? Weird. Chief Geek, you like Game of Thrones or House of Dragon? I like Games of the Thrones. I haven't seen House of the Dragon. Do they support AMD GPUs? Yes, some do. What's your top 5 Docker containers? I don't really deal with Docker too much, to be honest. Not because I don't like it, but because I just haven't done much. I still need to Dockerize some of my own things. I have my Twitch bot to say when I'm live on Blue Sky. Oh, shit, I forgot to say when I'm live on Blue Sky. I still gotta, like, write that enhancement for my little Twitch bot to post to Blue Sky when I'm live. I need to get around to getting that Blue Sky integration. I have just been swamped with everything else. But my code is on GitHub. If anyone wants a bot to tell when you're live on Twitch and post it to Mastodon. And now I gotta just add the Blue Sky enhancement to add that. It does have Twitter capabilities, but I haven't been able to use Twitter in a couple years, so I'm gonna remove that feature. Because I can't test it, I can't support it. For philosophical and technological reasons. AI is a tool. Yo, you got accepted in the TikTok shop, Mazel Tov. As a tool, lie a drill to constructor. It a tool. You still go sideways. Yeah. Did you see Meta is filtering Linux content on their platform? Yeah, I've heard that. Meta's been doing a lot of stupid things in the way that I don't think it's intentional. I think it's incompetence. That's the reality. Meta's had shit breaking for years. The problem is they're too big. They don't know what's going on. And here's the thing. Okay, I won't deny Zuckerberg is a schmuck. I won't deny that. But most of the things Facebook or Meta as a whole has been doing for the past few years that people look as malicious feel more like incompetence. Like, I want you to think about this. Threads. The way Threads was launched, with the limited features it had, and the capabilities it had, and everyone complaining about how it was operating and everything like that. That reeked more of incompetence than it did of, doing a malicious thing when they're like, well, we don't really want politics and stuff there. That reeked more of incompetence. Like, have you seen the ads Meta is trying to do to get people on Facebook and Instagram? I want you to put this in perspective. Meta has never had to make ads to get people to their platform. They have billions of users. Meta knows so little about their own platforms and their own community because they've never had to do any market research and market analysis that now they have to do ads that are so fucking out of touch with their own damn platform. It is embarrassing. And Meta is absolutely just flabbergasted at, wait a minute. These people on TikTok would rather go to a Chinese app than go to us? Yeah. Because you suck, Zuckerberg. Been posting stuff based on Game of Thrones books. Check it out, y'all. Nice. I'll have to remember to check that out. You may have to, share some of that if you can in the Discord or stuff like that. I'm sure there's some geeks that'll be into that. Google open sourced most of the Pebble's code base yesterday, and everyone is going nuts. Wait, what? Pebble Watch coming back as Google open source code. Oh, they open sourced it. Wait a minute. Hold up. Let's see. Where's the code? 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 Give me the code. 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 Where's the code? That pisses me off. You have tech articles like, this thing's coming back. It's open source. Click. Give me the fucking link where it's open source. So I want to see the code. Did they release the code? Did they not? Are all these websites just being absolute dicks? Anyway, I think it'd be really cool to have a Pebble Watch come back and then have it open source and then possibly displace the Pine Watch as an open source solution. That'd be pretty cool. All right, let's see. Where's the code? Where's the code? See the code that powers the smartwatches. There we go. Fucking had to go through 7-8 links because no goddamn tech news site actually posted the shit. And of course, I'm logged out of, Alright. Let me, log into my, thingies. Wait, where's my, Give me the bit, give me the bit, give me the bit, give me the bit. Alright. I want to star this repo because I'm going to look at it later. Or at least I'm going to follow it. And then see about things. And then maybe I'll get a watch that I'll get to throw against the wall because I get pissed. Not really. Alright. And now we got to tap the security key. Which is right on my keyboard. And it started. Yay! Okay, cool. By the way, I love these little nano USB UV keys. I love the fact that I can just keep it on my keyboard and be like, tap! Yay. Okay, so we started that repo. So we got the Pebble repo. Damn, they really did just upload it yesterday. They only have one commit. Missing components. Okay, so these parts would have to be rebuilt. System fonts, the Bluetooth stack, STM peripheral library, the voice codec, RMCMSIS for the Pebble 2HR, the heart rate monitor driver. So that's going to have to be rebuilt if someone wants to actually release the watch. It's not an officially supported Google product. This project is not eligible for the Google Open Source Vulnerability Rewards Program. If there's an internal run on the Pebble Watch's proprietary source code has been removed from the repository and it will not compile as is. This is for information only. So somebody's going to have to study that code before it actually is usable and then add into it. All right. I do that. I run Olama on my gaming system and have all my LLM stuff point to that machine. It's a 24 CPU and 28 RAM with 4 terabyte storage. Yeah, works. He's a little scared of Hackintosh, so just going to buy a cheap Mac laptop on eBay. Any particular you recommend with easily upgradable parts? Not really. Any of the recent Macs don't upgrade. They're all soldered components, so I don't like Apple for a lot of reasons, and one of them is because the Apple tax. When Apple started soldering all their components is when I exited stage left. I was a big Apple user. Look, I still have an iPhone, but that's not because I like iPhone. It's because I hate it less than Google. Let's make that very clear before anyone's like, Chief likes Apple. No, I hate every phone. I like tin cans and string. That's my preferred kind of communication. But unfortunately, the long distance charges on that are ridiculous.
For me to fix the game, so opened up my toolbox.
What the hell? Embedded side, definitely see a push towards Rust, but my employer will probably use C forever. I really got to look towards Rust, because the issue is C allows for a lot of memory leaks and weird things that you can do with it, whereas Rust can be a little bit more memory secure. Of course, it's a pain in the ass to deal with, but it's a big reason why Android has been able to drop the amount of vulnerabilities reported, and most of them are having to do with memory issues. Having a home lab have helped me with so much in the field. Exactly. It's the same thing with me. I wouldn't be as far as I am in my career without my home lab. Ooh. I know how to commit war crimes. You don't. Bro, just Dev. All I got to do is look at the Canadian checklist. You know, the Geneva Convention. Disaster recovery planning also? Absolutely. Thoughts on MDR in cybersecurity? MDR space. That acronym is escaping me for a second. 1 second. Oh, managed detection and response. Yeah, okay. Sorry. Why did I have a brain fart on that? It's a thing. You're gonna need it. Especially in larger companies. We use that. We use CrowdStrike at work. But yeah, you need a combination of, tech and people to do everything. That's why a lot of companies have SOCs and all that. But yeah. In an American who knows... I'm an American who knows Canadians, Canadian war crime joke. Geneva Conventions? More like the Geneva Suggestions. See, Meta started filtering and blocking Linux content. Yeah, that's what we were talking about, I think, a little bit earlier, where I say Meta is more incompetent than malicious. I'm posting stuff based on Game of Thrones book. Check it out, y'all. Google sourced most of Pebble's code base yesterday, and everyone's going nuts. Yeah, I can see that. People, I think, are reading too much into it. There's not much they can do with the code until someone actually compiles it with some drivers and stuff. Can you become a voting shareholder in Mastodon? No, Mastodon's a non-profit. They're open source. They are a non-profit in somewhere in Europe, and they have rejected venture capital money intentionally, which is ironically why Blue Sky is doing so much better. They got venture capital money for a lot of their things. I would trust you to be a tech oligarch. I don't know. I have no reason to be seeking any kind of power. I am the anti-Elon. I don't want power for myself. I merely want the world to be a better place. And if it were up to me, I would have a dog as president in the United States. Or the world. Because you can trust a dog as leader. I would totally follow a dog as president. Signs an executive order for more kibbles and bits. Love the shirt. Thoughts on Peter Thiel? He's a schmuck too, but probably not the worst schmuck out of them. But he's a schmuck. Interesting, maybe a good tool for pen testing. Wait, what? Okay. Check it out later. Great stuff, man. IT guy myself. Thank you, Sean. Imagine a flipper watch. So, I'm gonna show you the, Tangara music player when it comes in on Thursday. Remember, that is an ESP32. There's nothing potentially stopping you from coding in some pen test stuff similar to Flipper Zero in that ESP32. That's one of the things I'm bringing up in the video. I'm not going to be able to code that, nor would I really be interested to do that. But if somebody does it, I'd be glad to tinker with it. Power BI visualization projects ideas for Dude and Help Desk wanting ways to show Merritt's competence. I haven't really dealt much with Power BI. A lot of my things to show what I do every week, I literally write down in a text editor and I send to my boss after a copy and paste an email. We're kind of lazy in cyber because we're like, we don't want to spend too much time, showing our merits and everything like that. We want you to actually do the fucking job and then tell us what was done. Guessing how Google made Pebble Watch open source. Enough followers. Yeah. Remember the U.S. Army soldier who deserted North Korea? Which one? There's been several. I would buy a flipper watch in a heartbeat. Be interesting. Going to be a lot of placeholder code. Linux popping off since FB pulling BS. Really? I'd be curious to see more people installing Linux and all that. Apple is anti-right to repair, and that drives tech-savvy consumers away. Absolutely. Nothing Phone 3 looks cool. Yeah, but Nothing Phone just feels like another Android phone to me, which is why I'd rather just get a Pixel and drop graphene on it. But that's just me. Even though the graphene mods can be a little bit toxic from what I've heard. Oh, thank you for the follow, Jeremy. I didn't see that come through on Twitch. I have an Apple Silicon that I finally got around to settle up. I've wanted to play with Apple Silicon a little bit more. I've played with it at work, but like the honest truth is, it's a bit underwhelming for a lot of the stuff I tinker with. It really is. I'm spoiled by my NVIDIA 3070. I want to get a laptop with an NVIDIA GPU. I'm looking at the Tuxedo computers. Hey, thank you for the follow, Angelo. Stop mooning us. Wait, what? I created a Sequoia over the weekend. I think we finally allowed that now that CrowdStrike had an update. My wife's boss mailed her a brand new Mac Mini Pro with the M4 chip for work. Not bad. Here's the thing. I feel like a lot of companies just sending Macs don't really need Macs, and they're just wasting their money on computer hardware that could be better spent elsewhere. We've proven this at my job. I have a lot of developers that hate me because I'm the reason why they now have to give justifications to get a Mac. The only justification we have is, are you working on iOS shit? There's like very few people. I think we only have like 200. No, we've cut down. I think we only have like 100 and some odd Macs in the entire organization of like several thousand employees. And most of those are the devs that work on one of the apps that we have, which makes sense. And they annoy me because devs suck at doing troubleshooting for their own shit. It's amazing how they even manage to get a job. Seriously. If you're a developer and don't know how to set up your own damn environment and know how to troubleshoot and don't know basic IT 101 and some at least basic understanding of cryptography, I don't mean like in terms of like, you know, to the level I am, but at least, you know, like how SSH is, how an SSH key works, that you have these requirements and all that. Like, do you know how many times I've had devs have the audacity to come to me and like be like, well, you know, I can't get this to work and it's requiring these encryption settings, and they'll be like, can you lower the security settings so I can, you know, and like we would give a stern no. It'd be like one of those like the server team, the cyber team, and you know, then you'd have governance, risk, and compliance, like all in the chat at the same time, and basically unmute at the same time and go, no! I've had that moment several times with devs. Like, it's shocking just like how little they understand about basic computing. Like, I honestly think you shouldn't be coding if you don't know how to use a computer and don't know how to at least do the basics of administrating your computer. If all you know is to code and only how to code and not operate, manage, and maintain your environment around said code and understand the environment you're working in, what good are you as a developer, in my opinion? And these are senior developers, too. Also, the fact that there's too many developers I've dealt with that don't understand basics of how a firewall works. Or the several developers I've had to chase down because they're like, why does my password keep getting reset? Because you keep picking a vulnerable password that was previously leaked. And our systems check for that shit and redo it. If you're wondering why cybersecurity people barely have any hair, it's because of you fucking devs. And end users. I've introduced memory leaks to the field. I feel like I have a memory leak. I'm getting older. I'm developing memory leaks. I'm starting to remake my home mini data center. Nice. Yes, my school gave us old Linux Dell SFF computers so they didn't have to throw them out free lab. Yeah, I used to do the same thing when I was in college. For a little while before the college got shut down for defrauding the U.S. government. Yay, ITT. But yeah. MDR, my mind went to master boot record. That... For some reason, my brain did the same thing. I'm like, that doesn't sound right. How do you feel about Trump saying he wants to get rid of FEMA? Trump needs to shut the fuck up. Go to his fucking nursing home, you old fucking geriatric fuck. And realize... See, here's the thing. I don't understand why people are like, well, Donald Trump's so smart. Donald Trump has never had to fucking worry about where groceries come from. Donald Trump has always had money. Donald Trump has never had to worry about the things we all do on the everyday. He is not you. He is not like us. He's not, he literally is like, oh no, my house is burned down. Let me go buy another house or move into my other 35 fucking properties or whatever he has. We need to stop electing these fucking entitled billionaires and listening to them because they don't know fuck all about how to actually live. Like, you want the honest truth? Take Donald Trump's money, drop him in downtown of my city, that dude won't function. He won't know how to function. He won't know how to get around and talk and, be a normal person. Money is his thing. Elon Musk is the same way. Those two cannot function in normal society. They function by virtue of having enough money to tell people what to do. They've never had to actually be in a point of everyday living without privilege like that, like they have. And I'm not saying that in the SJW kind of sense. I'm saying that in the straight up, like, you have the privilege of having millions of dollars, having your school paid for, and all this shit. Yes, let's vote for my dog. My dog, Barack. Mastodon cannot be censored. Yeah, well, it can be censored by your server administrator. I know, because my server administrator for my Mastodon server is an absolute fucking asshole. I run my server. I have a server and want to start a home lab, not sure what to do first. I always recommend firewalls and network projects, running your own little website if you want, or there's tons of little things. Just like think about Plex boxes or whatever you want to host and tinker with and all that. Make sure it won't get too hot. Circulate the cold and hot air. Have a backup. Oh, you're talking about light. DeepSeek can... Wait, what? I am missing a chat. How dare you have an opinion? Let me see. I got Asheron's Call to Play on Mint. It needs a launcher, and I found one. I've never played Asheron's. Into the best because Apple App Store lock. Well, not in the EU, from my understanding. What do you think of Liam Cohn being the new Jaguars head coach? I think he seems like a chill guy. Not much of a sports guy. I'm a yay sports guy. I missed my Android DB and Cyanogen mod tablet from 2011. Speaking of old Android, I found this the other day. That's my Nexus 7 tablet. Do you remember these? Nexus 7? Let's see if I can... This was the Google Nexus 7. I used to use this as a Bitcoin and Feathercoin and cryptocurrency wallet before Ledger and stuff came out. Back when Asus made these for Google. This is a great little tablet, though, to just use for on the go, and then having my core wallets and Bitcoin and everything. There's nothing on here anymore because I moved all that to hardware wallets years ago. But I used this for like 3, 4, 5 years. It was great. I was way ahead of my time. Do Macs still have the issue of resetting all security settings after updates? I'm not sure. I don't use Mac anymore. I can ask some of the coworkers that do, but yeah. Chief, what's your thoughts on the 50 series cards? I want one, but I just can't justify the cost right now. Because I eventually want to upgrade my streams to work with AV1 encoding to get better quality, because right now I'm doing the H.264 through AIMVank, and the NVIDIA 4000 and 5000 series has AV1 encoding built in. Ideally, what I would like to do is upgrade this boy over here into maybe a 5080 or a 5070, or if I can drop that kind of money, a 5090, but even then, I don't run 4K, so I don't need that. And then I would like to get maybe a 4050 or 5050 equivalent. I know they don't exist, but I need like the lowest end one for the stream box over here so that I can get AV1 encoding. I want to upgrade this stream box with a new GPU before the main box, because the gaming and everything is fine on here with a 3070 with 1080p and everything. This AV1 would really be a benefit, because then I could use the same amount of bandwidth but fit a lot better quality video. But it's not a priority for me at the moment. Can you run a Hackintosh? I used to run a Hackintosh years ago. They're just very finicky, and you need to find specific hardware, and they don't. I don't think like support iMessage and stuff at the time. Yes, my wife didn't need it. LOL. Owner getting tax write-offs. Stupid. You cut down on Macs at work. Help us next. Well, the second I started making the documentation for Windows Subsystem for Linux, a lot of the developer arguments of, well, I need it to run Unixy-like things went out the window because it's suddenly like, well, we have Windows Subsystem for Linux, and it works with Zscaler. We got it proven. There you go, buddy. Have they done away with OS X and went to iOS? Not really. Passwords, really. Do I know computer for you? Productions, you're not the problem. You know the devs I'm talking about, though. When you test and need to break things, you learn a lot. Everyone running Linux should run this command. No, cool. Bad dog. I've gotten into arguments about this. What, about the Mac thing? I need local admin so I can code. You can get Windows Subsystem for Linux. There you go. Devs will demand access to their applications on their basic account and insist on local admin access. Yes, it's a nightmare. The way we do it at work is you have a local admin, and then you have you have a local account, and then you have an admin account. That's a big reason why we got rid of the Macs, is everyone had to have local admin, and it was too much of a security risk. Especially when the devs kept getting hit with security issues, like stupid basic things. How can you not know what is an SSH key and how to use it? Apparently there's a lot of devs out there that don't know basic shit. Glad to help in HR and sales. Like Dave on the IT on TikTok when you talk like that. I used to run pfSense on a 300 megahertz AMD. I used to run monowall on an older CPU. I think my first firewall that I actually put together was on a monowall, which monowall eventually became pfSense. I think that was on a Pentium 4? Running 1 point something gigahertz or something like that. My buddy works for the Army Corps of Engineers as a civilian doing firewalls. He has a CISSP. He's been in the field for a minute. Can you lower the requirements for security because we are stupid and don't want to change passwords? Pretty much. That's devs. Memory leaks. I'm going to use that the next time my site manager asks me something on the spot. Facts. Tariffs are not helping? No, they are not. It's going to get worse as they pass the tariffs. A lot of our tinkering supplies are going to get more expensive. My ADHD does not allow me to talk about Trump. DT has never had a successful business. RFK got blasted early. Ooh, what happened to RFK? Robert F. Kennedy. Use. Caroline Kennedy calls RFK Jr. a predator in letter to senators. Ooh. Ooh. When your own family.
Dumbass.
That's how a hacker gets in, by trying old lists. DeepSeek has dropped a new AI model for image creation with its open source called Janus Pro. I'll have to see that. I know that guy, you're right. Doing some forbidden router stuff with Intel NUCs. What's the forbidden stuff? You always do this to my comments, cat comment. Deb, no. Is it working? Pretty excited. I am picking up a new laptop Friday. Ooh, nice. The laptop again. Heard of those. LOL, want to talk old Android? I have a Toshiba Thrive. God damn, I forgot Toshiba made shit. I forgot about Toshiba for a second. I had one of those, the 7-inch. Yep. Back in the days when one could actually do a measuring contest with an Android device. Or by Intel, I think. RFK Jr. needs to get blasted for spreading dangerous misinformation. Back when Intel was trying the whole x86 and Android. I remember Remix OS. When I was at CES in 2016, I was introduced to Remix OS which was Android on x86 that you could run off a flash drive and install on a computer. And this was before Google Chrome OS. There was the idea for Android as a desktop OS. It actually happened before Google came about with it. It was interesting. Let me see. Do they still exist? Probably not. Let me check this. Yeah, it's discontinued. Last release was last release was 2016. Wow, they didn't even make it that far. That's a bummer. Wah, 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 wah. I have old Lenovo tablet, but sadly it was with the Android Go and very slow. Any Android emulators for Linux? Yeah, there's a few. I forget what the one was that I installed on my Pine phone over here, but I used an app to install Android apps on the Pine phone and the Purism phone. You can run it on there. I am to Mac and it resets everything on my desktop update because I don't use iCloud. Texture is tough. Android is Linux, well, a version of. The AMD RX 6700 10GB was an underrated card. Absolutely. The only reason why AMD wasn't picked up on much because the whole RTX thing and CUDA. You better not take away the needs of poverty. Are we talking about Trump? Yeah, you heard about Trump fucking with Medicaid and all that shit today. Trump doesn't care about the poor. Today, the whole banning of grants, I knew people that couldn't get their medications today because they couldn't access the Medicaid portal. Trump does not give a fuck about the poor people. That pissed me the fuck off. I know, best Linux distro. There isn't really a best Linux distro. There's a best for whatever you personally use distro. That's the beauty about Linux. It's not Mac, it's not Windows. Where, you know, if you have the Mac and Windows war, it's like, well, I like how Windows looks and Windows works with this way, and I like how Mac looks and Mac works this way. With Linux, it's, I like Linux because I can make it work however the fuck I want. That's the beauty of Linux. There is no best Linux. There's best for what you do. But, you know, like, there's best for different use cases and things like that. Like, I use Cubes OS on my laptop, and then I use Pop OS for my daily. Those are the best for me. I generally recommend those to a lot of people, but that doesn't necessarily mean Pop OS and Cubes OS are the best for everyone else. They're the best for my workflow and my needs. Tried claiming that money from Princess. We do a basic AD account and an admin account, but they still want local admin. Yeah, F that. I'm actually in the middle of pushing with identity and access management to set up Realm, which is a Red Hat package, to tie into Linux that allows it to call back into Active Directory. I've also proposed to them, what about creating a free IPA server for the Linux servers we have, and then creating a trusted bridge to Active Directory, so that way the free IPA can control the Linux stuff a little bit better. You can do a lot more flexibility stuff. That might have been a tangent. I would love to have a Windows 12 mobile phone. Whoa, 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 buddy. Whoa. What happened? We're still on 11. So what's the deal with people saying DeepSeek is crashing the stock market? All right, we talked about this a little bit earlier, but let me show you. I can run it locally. I can run DeepSeek locally. It is completely open sourced. So this is what you have to understand. I know some people are going to think this is a little political, but this is the reality of the situation. It's frightening the tech market on multiple fronts. One, Most of these AI companies were deriving their value based upon a product they were developing and then were continually selling as a service. Think OpenAI. Is anyone able to run OpenAI locally? No. You have to go to ChatGPT or whatever, go to OpenAI and pay them for the better access if you're not using the free model. Their model of making money was continually just getting you to get hooked on them. DeepSeek doesn't see the value in their company being the product. They see the value being in the culture of the company that they have built. And the culture happens to build a great product. So therefore, I can run DeepSeek locally. This computer is running DeepSeek locally. You say hi to my TikTok chat. Fuck. Forgot to do that. Here we go. And generate the AI response. So now we're generating it locally. I'm not sending this to the cloud. This is all being processed on my machine. Okay, it doesn't really listen to what I was saying in the context there. So, but you get the idea. I can have this. Here, let's try a different thing. Tell me about the American Revolution. God, my Hebrew really sucks. There's a message in there. Live be abba boker ze. God damn it. Hold on. Let me translate this. God, my Hebrew has really slipped since I lived in Israel. Live at 4 a.m. is wild. Bro, it's only 9:32 p.m. So you can see, this is DeepSeek doing it. The American Revolution, 1775, was a pivotal period. So that's the big deal. The big deal with DeepSeek is that we now have the means of production. I'm sorry, I just wanted to do that. That's what scares them. Not only that, it proved, because the idea was that China could not advance in AI because we were restricting their hardware. But here's the reality what the USA doesn't realize. China was in competition with the US, but the US thought they weren't in competition with China. And we all know competition brings the best out of you. That's the reality of the situation. It caught the entire Western market off guard because all it did was it put China's back against the wall, get really creative to innovate a lot of their AI solutions and do it with a lot less money. Toshiba went out of business, didn't they? No, I think Toshiba's still around. They just don't do really a lot of electronics like that. I'm gonna download VMware there, and I can't. There are other VM. I want to learn Linux. Microsoft Hyper-V, if you're using Windows. That's why I recommend professional versions of Windows. That's my preferred VM inside of Windows. If you can't do that, there's VirtualBox, which is okay, but it's a Type 1 hypervisor. It's kind of clunky compared to Type 2s. And then if you can use Linux straight, there's KVM QAMU. That's the hypervisor I use for a lot of my stuff. But, yeah. Those are your options. Janus isn't on Olama yet. They'll probably open source it eventually. MMOs would be fun on a Windows phone. Windows phones are dead. Accept it. Microsoft missed the moment. Let's see. Do you think a master's in cybersecurity is worth it? Well, let me put it this way. I don't have a degree. You go ahead and pay for a degree. If you're in America, that's at least, what, $60,000, $80,000 in debt right out the gate? I went to, community colleges for trade school primarily, for electrician. I only owe, total, out of everything, when I left school, $8,000. The knowledge that I got from that translated into networking and a bunch of stuff because I ran wires and stuff. Until I realized I didn't like ladder work as much as that, and I just pivoted back to tech. But you don't need a degree to get into cybersecurity. You can work through MSP, you can work through help desk, you can work your way up and into the field. It's more about putting your nose to the grindstone and what you're willing to learn. All school's going to do is teach you the concepts. By the time it's in a textbook in your classroom, it's 3 to 5 years out of date in the field. That's the honest truth. Internships, internships at most may help you in college and stuff like that. Apprenticeships will definitely help you a little bit better, but you don't necessarily need a degree. And I feel like college is one of those scams that have been sold to us heavily because we're taught that there's nothing outside of degrees. You can go the cert route if you have certain jobs that are looking for certs. You can go the home labbing and tinkering like I did. It's all gonna suck either way. Difference is I ain't got the student loan burden. Shame is Googling how tall is an iPhone 5C. Yeah, iPhones used to be smaller. Desktop sick tip. It's better to learn how to use the internet than it is how to access the internet. Quit giving away random shit. Quit, giving your info everywhere. Hide your email, and why that? You can alias it with something like Simple Login, which is built into Proton and all that. Got a new laptop. CPU is too new for most kernels. Should I use unstable and wait until stable? Not sure. You may want to look up what your CPU is. I'm sure there's some other people there that may have figured it out or backported some patches. It's crazy. Dad and I used to game on a 486, just Windows games and whatnot. I used to have a Cyrix CPU growing up. Anyone knows that. I need to use an Android VM on GNS3. GNS3. Man, I haven't heard that name in a minute. But yeah, GNS3. Good software. You heard of oh. Also, it's supposed to be another MSI GE76 Raider, I believe. Ooh, that's your problem. MSI's a pain in the ass. I don't care for MSI as a brand. I have several MSIs. That's why I don't care for them. Ain't about Exodus. What? You're talking about Exodus? You mean the wallet? I'm experimenting with different Linux distros on my laptop lately. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool to distro hop when you first, try it out. And then after you do it for so many years like me, you just get to be a basic bitch. And you're like, hey, this laptop works. I am going to do it. Haven't tried it, but I bet Cubes OS is great. Well, Cubes I do not recommend for beginners. Cubes is what I recommend after you've been very comfortable with Linux because it's like Linux Plus. Everything in Cubes is a virtual machine. Your USB devices come through a virtual machine. Your display manager is in a virtual machine. Your networking is a virtual machine, which connects to a firewall virtual machine. Your applications are in a virtual machine. It is a Russian nesting doll of virtual machines. You have your own LAN inside the laptop. It is ridiculous. My VPN is in another virtual machine. I have 3 virtual machines for 3 different VPN routes for Molvad, so I can literally go Sweden, US East, US West. So depending on where I am in the world, boop, there we go. It's all great until the engineers end up finding old computers to use with escalation privileges. Yeah. Triplete, my prompt would have said, hey, say hi to my TikTok chat. The problem the DeepSeek culture allows possibly unethically sourced data that's been trained on. I don't see how that's any different than anything else that we've been doing in AI. That's how it is. You see those Doomsday laptops on Etsy? Pretty sick, not gonna lie. No, I have not seen the Doomsday laptops. Let me see what you're talking about. Etsy. Doomsday laptop. Oh, these kind of look like cyberdecks. Yeah, these look like cyberdecks. Yeah, they're like a cyberdeck. You get a case, you build a computer in. Yeah, you see these all over at DEF CON. People actually make these at DEF CON. They 3D print their own cases and everything. Yeah, it's a cyberdeck, basically. The hell? Yeah, the concept of a cyberdeck's been around for a while. Although this one kind of reminds me of a pirate box. But yeah, the concept is basically very simple. You have a computer built in. Yep, see, it's a Raspberry Pi there. You can tell. You can build these yourself pretty easily. Yep. $650 for a cyberdeck. You can do that for $200. There's actually somebody that made a cyberdeck in my Discord. Let me see, actually. Hold on. Where did she put that picture? Give me a sec. Give me a sec. It was Amazonian. We talk tech and do tech a lot in my Discord. Yeah. There we go. Wait, I just saw it. Where'd it go? Fuck. There we go. Yeah. We have someone in our community that made their own cyberdeck. It's just a matter of creativity. They're not that difficult. So did OAI, but they're trying to be better. Solar-powered AI rugged laptop preloaded with AI that doesn't need connection. Yeah, you can do that very easily with the cyberdeck. And again, it's just about creativity. The memes of production. That is because the U.S. is oblivious to anything outside the U.S. that isn't oil. Tried to follow up with the job interview that went well, hoping to hear more. Hope that goes out well for you. But yeah, on that point, this is what cracks me up. You have a lot of Americans that right now are being like, we don't see any of the protests outside the United States going on for us. And I'm sitting here like, motherfucker, that ain't anything new. We've been Amerocentric. Amerocentric. That is the actual term. Amerocentric. For far too long. America doesn't care about anything unless it's in America. It's the most interesting thing. Because whenever I leave this country, a lot of the news has to deal with what's in America. When I was in Portugal, when I was in Israel, when I was in Germany. But then suddenly, when we're in America, all the news is about America, but it's not about the fucking rest of the world. I mean, wonder why most Americans are so fucking ignorant of the world and the way it works. Like, it blows people's minds when I tell them about the basic things in Europe. Like, oh my God, if I explained to them, like, how cheap food was, I literally had to take one of my best friends to Europe to get her to understand. You see how cheap shit is here? You see what I was talking about? And all the other good shit that they have over there? Yeah. Americans are really ignorant of things outside of America. I'm not saying that to just be an asshole. I'm saying that as a legitimate thing. Tired, Chief. I'm tired. We all are. Develop is good, but doesn't give guarantees. It helps. I don't have a degree. I got an IT help desk and have held it for 3 years. You can probably, after those 3 years, start leveling up and everything. You put your nose to the grindstone, maybe get a cert or two after that experience or that. It can help polish up. Remember, certs don't help you get jobs. They help you get interviews. That's it. You get the job. The cert just opens the door. It just appeases the HR. My fiance is close to 100K in debt just for a master's program. See? The only reason I'm close to 100K in debt is because property. That's an asset. Internships are a pain in the D-hole? Absolutely. AI will revolutionize the IT industry in the same way that cell phones revolutionized the telecom. I don't think so. No. Cell phones were far more radical in changing our lives and how we did everything than AI. AI is merely an evolution of just garbage in, garbage out. Cell phones radically changed the way we function in society. Which sucks because we no longer live in the moment anymore. Go to a concert. Go to any amazing event. What's everyone doing? I'm recording with my phone. You never just get to experience the moment anymore with a phone. Employer hires employees who have degrees, but it's definitely harder. It is, but you're going to find a lot better quality people out there, in my opinion. Because if you just look at the college degree, there's way too many people with college degrees that are just entitled pricks that think that they deserve a job just because they have a degree, not because they have the skills or the experience. If my identity was stolen via email, how would I make sure I'm secured? I don't know how your identity would be stolen via email, unless you're saying your email itself would be stolen, not just be securing your logins and everything. The job I'm working now was a bachelor's or equivalent experience. I had an associate's with a few years inventory experience. Nice. I also home labbed a lot on top of my degree work, though. Can you recommend some good starter computers for Cubes OS? You're gonna need at least, and when I say these are the minimum requirements, I mean these are the minimum requirements. You are going to want to get at least a Core i5, at least 16 gigabytes of RAM. Ideally, you want a Core i7. More cores, the better. You're going to want probably 32 gigabytes of RAM. I run 64 on mine. Because remember, each of these virtual machines is going to need a bunch of memory. I'm not joking. You'll be using a lot of memory. That, you will also need Intel VTD and VTX, which is available in any Intel computer in the past 10 years, and you have to make sure they're enabled. But, yeah. Cubes OS is more like a hypervisor that with a central display server than a regular OS. That's a good way to put it. I have a business pages linked to email. They had my IP. Do I need new hardware? No. An IP, having your IP don't mean shit. People overemphasize the fact that they're like, oh my god, they got my IP, what can they do with it? Oh my god! No, they can't do shit with it, except maybe annoy you and maybe do a DOS or DDoS. That'd just be some script kiddie bullshit, but they really can't do much with that. Unless they're actually attacking the network and then doing all that. But that, like, most people won't even do that. It's much ado about nothing. Okay, so they have your IP address. What freaking do, Basil? 650 for Cyberdeck. Better to roll your own, yeah. Might be playing my first ever game ever of D&D soon. Nice! I've never played it. I've always wanted to. I've just never had enough friends that, you know, wanted to. And I grew up with a bunch of jock friends when I was the only geek, so I never got the privilege to do a bunch of the nerdy shit. except for by myself. I didn't have any nerdy friends growing up, so it kind of sucked. Don't give me another project, the wife will kill me. Well, stop watching my damn channel then! That's on you! Wait. Hold up.
First off, fuck your bitch and the click you claim.
I'm sorry. I built a huge cyber deck once. Reason why I couldn't make it smaller was because it needed 2 USB add-on cards for sensor arrays. Why does my Wi-Fi router have USB ports? What can I use them for? Print server. Or a file server. Some routers allow you the capability to plug your printer in so it can become a print server, because back in the day, your printer didn't have Wi-Fi. So a lot of people would plug their printer into a computer and share it on the network. So Windows, you can actually share the printer across the network. In Linux, I used to plug it in and do the same thing. This was before, they had networking built into printers. Same thing with a file server. Some people plug a flash drive or a network attached storage in, and not network attached storage, a external hard drive, and then turn it into an NAS. So, yeah. 400 dash nicely. Ayo. What's up, Ben? So, DeepSeek, but has anyone played with Ghost GPT? Is that like the equivalent of, is that the GPT everyone used for dating? When they ghost you? Came off a DeepSeek video, so I have a question. Alright, what's your question? The huge cyber deck I built or helped build was a server chassis with some angled muddled nuts, bolts, and a 1U fold-up screen. Sounds like a project. AI with TTS and STT offline. I need to clip this and send it to some people at work. No, because it's true. Well, clip it! Not that cheap anymore, but it's still cheaper than the US. Australia's a conspiracy, JK for the literalists. Australia doesn't exist, and neither do birds. It's a joke. Just make it clear. Oh, somebody follow? Thanks for the follow, Galistro. Appreciate that. Well, certs appeal to HR, but if you get enough folks with CISSP, you can get savings on cyber insurance. True. 14B, DeepSeek talks to itself a lot before it answers a question. So funny. Yeah, it's like me when I'm working on a tech project. Wait. Did the AI just train off of listening to other people so it thinks that it must talk to itself in order to, process? We can live without AI, but phones no. Why are internships a pain? I didn't do any, so I can't really explain that. Someone else would be able to. Somebody else, I think, said that. A freaking men. Or phone flashlights to simulate lighters. Not the same. Yeah. When I go to a concert, I bring a good old-fashioned Zippo. It ain't the same unless you hear the ching. Man, I remember when I went to concerts when I was a kid. You remember the moment? Everyone be up with the lighter. 1,000 lighters in there, and then everyone's got phones. No one knows how to live in the moment. Phones have also killed a lot of jobs. They've also made a lot of jobs. 1-900 numbers, buddy. When was the last time you got pictures taken at the local Kmart by a real photographer? That's a good one. No, Kmart was for the broke-ass bitches. We went to Sears like the civilized, upper middle class people. Or at least pretend to be upper middle class. Any idiot can eventually get a degree. I'm pretty sure one of my friends cheated through hers. We all know those kind of people. It's unfortunate. It is. Zippos are the best. Bics are a close second. You ever used a clipper lighter, though? They're like the working man British equivalent of a Bic. Those are great, too. I would love one of those ones that look like a cow with the flames out the nose. To buy an Intel Core 7 NEC and get a 64 gigabyte and verify settings in BIOS. Wait, thank you. Yep. I like the ones that have Core Boot built in, like this guy over here. This is a Purism Purism was the Libra Mini, which was made by Start9. Got Core Boot. I need to set this up again. It's a StartOS is an operating system. I got this like 2 years ago. I met these guys at DEF CON. This is a home server to host whatever I want, like Matrix, Burn After Reading, or all that, and it runs everything off of Tor. And then I connect to it outside the house over Tor, in the same way I connect to my Monero node when I was at DEF CON to pay for some things in Monero. It's got Core Boot, so Intel Management Engine's disabled. It's open source BIOS, just for you wondering what Core Boot is. D&D is so much fun. I play every other week. On one of my other channels, I showed off an app I made. Someone replied, "You showed your IP address." It was my private IP. Yeah. Give them 8 projects. IT folks are like magpies for shiny new side quests. That's because we're all fucking ADHD! You know, IT and cybersecurity makes a whole lot of fucking sense if you put it through the lens of neurodiversity. I probably just wrinkled a whole bunch of brains out there and probably just made y'all go, oh shit. I have a firm belief that you cannot really work in IT or cybersecurity unless you are some form of neurodiverse. That's just how it works. Them's the rules. I didn't make them. I'm just here observing the laws of the universe. That's how it is. All right? Okay, where is the one window I had open here? Hold up. Close that. Is it gardening? Okay, yeah, we go. Routers allow NAS too. Some do. Still do that for printers with fried nicks occasionally. Does that make sense? Now the Ghost GP is without guardrails. Any GPT that you run locally is without guardrails. Like, I'm curious. I'm curious. I just asked it to make something really toxic. Okay. It won't let me, but I'm curious if I switch it to another. I'll do it later. I was just asking it to if I could do something dangerous. I don't think it's trained on that data. In reality, you shouldn't download an AI local, right? You wouldn't download a car, would you? Yes, I would, and then I'd 3D print it. Jessica, you're sounding like those old 1990s ads about piracy. You wouldn't download an AI local, right? Some of them don't supply enough power for portable hard drives. Great with a flash drive, though. Right, me too. I think out loud, so maybe the AI do too, or it helps with the context. Internships are a pain because some of them have stupid requirements that are unrealistic. This is true. That's true of any job, though. Back in my day. Small town, we had Sears inside of a Kmart. Wait, the fuck? That's a thing? I would have thought Kmart would have been inside the Sears, because wasn't Kmart smaller than Sears? Weird. Never an internship. I was busy working 3 jobs to survive. Sears, which is Kmart with a 20% markup. Perfect. While you were alive and listened to you, I coded a fork to your Twitch project. I'll submit a pull request. Oh, thanks. Appreciate that. I will take a look at it when I get a chance. I did 1 internship, terminated Ethernet patch cords half the day, or 2 to 3 days a week. Wait, what was it called? I've heard of Synology, but curious about what you got from DEF CON. Oh, I got many things from DEF CON. But it's probably this guy, the Librem Mini, which is actually a Start 9 server pure. So let me show you what I'm talking about. To the Firefox. All right. So we got to talk about Purism. Is it PURI.SM? And then we got Start 9. Okay. So we got these two companies here. So Purism makes privacy-focused stuff. U.S. company. I have their Librem 14 laptop. It's an okay laptop. I don't recommend buying it at this point because it's still on an old Intel 10710U. It's a nice laptop, but I'd recommend a Nova Custom instead, which is based out of Europe because they have newer CPUs on that. It's okay if you want to buy it, but still overpriced. This is their Librem Mini here. Okay? It's got a Core i7 in here. I think I got 32 or 64 gigs of RAM. And I think this is also an i7 10710U. No, 10510U. My bad. Okay? So it's a device that has, it's like an Intel NUC, but Intel ME is disabled, management engine. So Start 9, I met these guys when I was at DEF CON. Their whole idea is sovereign computing. So you can host your own apps and everything. So they have a couple of options that you can buy. You can either get the software and install it on your box and then put it on a Raspberry Pi or whatever, or you can get the Server Pure, or you can get the Server 1. The Server 1 is has the proprietary Intel management and engine and all that on there. It's okay. The Server Pure has the Intel management engine disabled. Okay? Now, the main website. So this is... Open up. So they do have a GitHub. So they have it open sourced, the operating system. Start OS. It's like Docker on steroids. Because you can get all these different things to install on there. These are just like click to run. So you can have like your own Bitcoin Core node, your own Lightning node, Vault Warden. Like a lot of these are cryptocurrency, of course, based, because there's a lot of things. You can run your own Jellyfin server, Git, all these locally, and even a Nostr relay if you want. You can even run free GPT off of it, and Matrix, Nextcloud, like all these different things. This is burn after reading, so you can send a destructible message to somebody that after they read it, or they grab the file, it's just destroyed, but it's locally hosted on your thing. So they have a lot of different things, and there's also a third-party marketplace you can add for the community and everything. So they have, that's the idea around Start 9, is it's easy home labbing tinkering that you can just throw on a box and then spin up whatever the hell you want, instead of having to package things like I do. That's basically what the thing is, more or less. Make sense? Yeah, burn after reading is really cool. It's useful. Okay. I would download AI on Kubernetes to see what happens. Seems a little bit overkill. World's largest store. I don't know. There's Mall of America. Kmart for everything, Sears for appliances. I agree with this, except Sears doesn't really exist anymore. I used to be able to buy houses from Sears. I just unboxed my Flipper Zero, might upload to TikTok. What should I try first? It's a fun little toy. Where's my Flipper? I think it's upstairs somewhere. I gotta remember where I put my Flipper. It's a fun little toy to do like different radio stuff. You can mess with like people's TVs and stuff. There's nothing really novel about it. It's more about the fact that it's convenient and all the different tools built in. So you can do some like universal remote stuff with it. You can do some clone your garage door, mess with your parents. I actually used to mess with my cousins, and there's a way, because there's a rolling key on the car. So if you actually grab the car fob, signal, it can record the next instance. And then what I'll do is I'll mess with my cousins and unlock their car for them. It's a one-trick pony. It only works one time because the code rolls in a random fashion, but it's fun to fuck with people. It really is. Yeah, they're a fun toy to have, but like they're not there's nothing really too serious you can do with the flipper. A lot of it's just like fun little party tricks in terms of cybersecurity, if that makes sense. Like, I've cloned my boss's work badge and put it onto an e-ink badge, a GG tag, which has RFID capabilities, and put his badge in there and said, you know, his name on there. And I badged him in one day, and he's like, did you make your own badge? And I'm like, no. You made a badge. That's how I was convincing them that they needed to upgrade their security. They've known about the issue. We're in cyber, so we get to do more fun things. I miss when Sears was Sears in quality, yeah. Did you work at Next, Joseph? Your shirt, if so? No, I'm not that old. I was like not even 10 years old when Next came out. I just saw this shirt and I took it because I know about Next computing. Although Yitz went crazy over it because he had a Next computer growing up when he was in college. Funny thing is, Sears is still there. They just still use appliances and have a field repair tech there. Here I am saving for a Speed Queen for a laundry. No more bells and whistles to break after 5 years. I can understand that. I was actually looking at a Speed Queen a while ago, but I got a Maytag, but yeah, I'll get a Speed Queen the next thing. When I bought the Maytag, I already dumped my savings into the down payment on my house and realized the washing machine was shot. Yep, that'll happen. Interested in home labbing? Thank you. But party tricks like that can lead to more good things. Like getting laid. I once programmed my Logitech mouse to my boss's Logitech Unified Receiver once. That was a fun prank. I used to work at ThinkGeek and had the Phantom Keystroker. I need to find that. It's somewhere. One of my favorite pranks. Plug that in the back of somebody's computer and watch their computer come to life and they think it becomes sentient. It was hilarious. I know what you're doing. Like that kind of thing. It was hilarious. Okay, so my HoloLens on the network to test if they'd show up. I definitely want to try cloning badges. A fob would be great. Back from playing Kingdom Hearts 2. Oh yeah? It was nice? Alright, we're gonna take a quick break for a sec. I gotta pee, and then we're gonna still chat and talk tech and all that, but we're gonna shift gears, because I want to play Wolfenstein and shoot some Nazis. It's been a week. We gotta shoot some Nazis with everything going on. So, bathroom break, be right back. 2 minutes. All right, we're back. Hooray! Oh, I also noticed while I was in the bathroom, I officially hit 3,000 followers on Blue Sky. So, hold on. I find it weird that I started on Mastodon first, but my Blue Sky is already pulling away from my Blue Sky. My Blue Sky is pulling away from my Mastodon. I cross-post to both, but my Blue Sky officially now has 6 times the amount of followers than my Meta Threads, and my Mastodon has 5.5 times. So, yay. I'm loving Blue Sky a lot more. So let's make sure the audio is working before we shift in to Wolfenstein. Last time I remember we were getting off the U-boat. Hold up. Let's see.
Front, left, front, right.
Okay, we got audio. Cool. Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus. I don't even know what Mastodon or Blue Sky is. They are alternatives to Twitter. What's up, Polly Chaser? How's it going? Alright. Wolfenstein 2. Changing the category. There we go. But yeah, if you're not a fan of Twitter, get on Blue Sky, get on Mastodon. If you're a tech person, definitely get on both of those. There's a far more techie people. I have the OG Wolfenstein 2 that I was playing on DOS, like back on during Hanukkah a few weeks ago. But nice. iMac. But yeah, if you're a if you like tech and all that, and you want to be with really techie people, most of those are going to be on Mastodon. If you are, Blue Sky will have some of those too.
William, you have to find the transmitter and shut it down, or the depth charges will rupture our hull.
Hold up 1 second. I think my LLM is still loaded. Yep. I was like, why is the game acting weird? That's why. Because my LLM was still loaded, so the memory wasn't free. I was seeing like a flicker. Should I have my own Mastodon node? You don't have to. Productions, remind me later. I can send you an invite to my server. If you want to be on my server. You can use infosec.exchange too. That's another great one too. But I have my own server. I made that 2 years ago. And it's my own little slice of the internet, and I did that because at the time I wasn't really knowledgeable too much of all the other admins out there, or if I could trust them. So I was like, I'm gonna make my own server, so I can control my own media. There we go. Now it's a little better.
William, you have to find the transmitter and shut it down, or the depth charges will rupture our hull.
Wait, what? It just vaporized that? Wait, how do I switch modes? God damn it. Hold on, let me reload that, because I should have read that. I have a big home lab here, Dell machines, dual CPU, and fiber access. I will later do an AT protocol server. Nice. Hold up. Something's still eating my memory. Ah. Huh. Something's hanging. Give me 1 second. We're gonna do a quick reboot here. I've been needing to reboot this machine anyway. It's been on for like a week or so, and I've had updates and stuff. I can still see the chats and all that, don't worry. It's just a fractured way of doing it. Okay, so I got TikTok over here. I've got the Twitch over here. I do have my own website using a custom Hugo layout. It's mostly laziness on my part why I don't have my own nodes for Mastodon and B-Sky, though. I still gotta make my own Blue Sky PDS server. That's laziness on my part. Well, that combined with the fact that I still want Blue Sky multi-factor authentication to be working properly. They still haven't, last I checked, added the, what do you call it? The, TOTP and FIDO Web Authn for my YubiKey. You know what I'm talking about? Because I want to be able to log in with my YubiKey. It's annoying that I can do it with my Mastodon, but I can't do it with my... I can do it on Mastodon, I can do it on Twitter, but I can't do it on Blue Sky. I don't understand why they had the whole, like, oh yeah, you can just use email to do multi-factor authentication, which is bullshit. Because nobody wants to do email multi-factor authentication. That is insecure as hell. Alright, there we go. Cool. Now the PC's back. Bash, opt, reset pipewriter. B-Sky email is bullshit, is a rate limit. You can get... There is a rate limit? Oh, that's kind of annoying. I keep thinking that Trump is violating the social contract, ATM. Trump's violating the social contract, the written contract. He's already violated so many contracts with his own people.
Front, left.
Okay, cool. Now we should be better. Yeah, see, there was a hung process in there or something. Because like 6 gigs of memory was being used for no reason. Guess all Blue Sky AT Protocol API endpoint have rate limits. Oh, that's annoying. I learned it with bad coding loop code. Meanwhile, I had a bad loop in Mastodon and spammed about 30 servers. They thought I was a bot, but then when I explained, no, I just made a bad coding choice and everything, so many admins started laughing at me, and I was laughing at myself, and like, shit happens. And I'm like, this is why you don't test in prod. I learned that lesson the hard way. Also, I love the fact that I have a 2 PC setup because I can reboot the system like that. No problem. Okay, there we go. Think they are ghosts? Oh god.
William, you have to find the transmitter and shut it down, or the depth charges will
There we
rupture
go.
our hull.
You know, I kind of miss the old way they did the laser craft work, where you used to, like, drill around that. Can't for over the fact Linux got innovated because one person wanted to see 2B's ass on Linux. Wait, what?
We've made a mistake. On the floor plan, Section F just looks like a little laundry room. We looked for it when we first searched the U-boat after you captured it, but we didn't see the entrance door. And with all the things we were worrying about back then, I suppose we didn't bother looking too closely. But now I've re-examined the floor plan and there's a reference to a completely different document. The engineering map of Section F. I'll
Okay,
report
so we
back
got to
as soon as I
go
find it.
down the engineering. Yeah, you can definitely tell someone's down here. I hear a Nazi. You just gotta shoot him in the head for extra love. DXVK was made because of Nier Automata. Oh, yeah, I've been wanting to play Nier Automata as well. Would y'all be interested in checking that out with me? I've never played it. Spent 20 minutes recently diagnosing why one of our apps wouldn't license over our VPN for a client. Turns out I forgot to uncomment the config line. Yep. We've been there, buddy. We've been there. I'm in the middle of trying to terraform a Zscaler indexer service, and it's annoying me. Because I had to get the AMI approved to get into the store. Then I had to script that, then work with the architect to find the right version. A lot of Nazis. Love my code. I refactored it. I added an initializer Blue Sky and also post your live to Blue Sky with rich text and the external card. Oh, nice. I'll have to test it out and throw it onto my Raspberry Pi. Somebody's probably going to need to remind me to do that this weekend. Wrong gun. Their gun.
William, I found the engineering map. Ballast tank, nuclear war.
And if the code works well enough, then I can actually start working on the,
We're on the biggest U-boat
what
in
you
the
call
world,
it?
so this section is gigantic. Some of it must serve as a main ballast tank or
I
something.
can work on the Dockerization.
Be careful, William. No telling how many Nazis could be hiding in there.
Yeah, I'll need you to test my pull request since I don't have all those services yet. I can do that. I'll probably work on it this Saturday if I have time. If not, maybe Sunday. That game is really good. Client laughed and was thankful I was willing to admit to laugh off my mistake. Gave me a 5 out of 5 rating, too. Yeah, I find usually if you're honest with clients, they are more forgiving of a lot of shit. Docker, it's easy. BTW, it can drop Docker Compose if you want. You'll just need a Docker container that can have Python in it and everything else installed. Yeah, but I got to change some of the environment variables and stuff like that. That was the issue because the problem was if you see the code that I had, again, this was my very first, like, I'm learning to do Python and deal with APIs. It writes to a config.ini, so I need to set that to environment variables and then get that to an env to get that to work with Docker. Yeah, I can take a look at it later. Wait a minute. What the hell? Oh, there we are. I was like, I knew there's got to be something around here. It wasn't good. I removed all the config ini stuff. Nice. So I'll just have to rework it. I got my Raspberry Pi 3B Plus in my rack. I just have to SSH into and get that set up. Although what I'll probably do is just pull another Raspberry Pi and get that set up on it for testing.
The U-boat 5 months ago. They must be starving. And
Then eventually what I want to do is get Doppler or something working with it so I can start managing the keys. Okay, where's the other Nazi? There you are.
William, I took a closer look at the stockpile of nuclear warheads in Section F. According to the engineering map, there's dozens of warheads in there. Let's hope the Nazis haven't tampered with them.
I wish more easy anti-cheat games got love. Oh yeah, absolutely. Create a separate class and initialize all your social service in the main file send. Nice. So how secure is Telnet? It's not. Telnet sends everything over clear text.
Caroline, don't think I'm gonna make it. A few more weeks, maybe. With your grace.
The Nazis never figured out nuclear energy in real life. They were close to it. We just got to it first. Thanks to Albert Einstein and a few other people. You know, Albert Einstein was actually a pacifist. It was just that he saw the horrors of what the Nazis were doing that made him willing to create the atomic bomb. The irony is that Hitler drove the brightest people into the arms of their enemy because he just didn't like the fact that a lot of them were Jewish.
Wird einem hier schlecht. Ich meine das ernst. Höllische Magenkrämpfe. Hab heute Morgen Blut gekotzt. Ich brauch richtiges Essen. Gott. Halt durch, mein Freund. Ich lade dich bei Kaiser in Berlin zu einem Kotelett ein, wenn uns der Suchtrupp hier rausholt.
How do we get up to the frickin'... Okay, there's gotta be a way for me to jump up.
Hallo! Eindringling im Wartungsschacht! Brauche Verstärkung!
Oh, come on! Oh, I had to hop over that? Okay, we got a commander up ahead. Is this on Linux? Absolutely. So, you say they weren't, but yeah, they were actually close to it. The reality is, like, Germany, like it or not, were actually very industrious. What was it? When we kept attacking a lot of their oil production, they actually learned how to make oil from coal. It was a bit more expensive, but there is coal to oil, thanks in part to them. Got some Enigma codes. Wait, what am I supposed to do? Oh.
Thank you, William. The Ausmetz is losing track of us now. Find your way back to the locker room. Bombate will let you out of there.
Shit, I knew there was a grenade. Here, my grenade. Eat that shit. The Farm Hill recordings pretty much revealed that. Do you think the U.S. did a cyber attack on Deep Seek? I don't think it would be the U.S. per se, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was a U.S. company that maybe is doing it through proxy as part of competition, but at the same time, I don't see the point in a U.S. company doing that kind of thing because it'd just be a waste of resources, knowing that, well, the real pain is that it's open sourced and that we can run the model locally. That's the real pain, I think, that they don't seem to understand. Because now it opens the door for a lot of us to do more things local. Because it was like, even though I ran Mistral and Code Llama and stuff like that, it was still like you needed a lot of resources to run some of these things. What's up, Ari? You good boy. Helmet. Nope. Ammo's full. Okay. I have a Raspberry Pi 4 here. Should I run an external hard drive, or is the SD card enough? I'm just afraid of losing everything in the SD card. You can always set up like an rsync or something to do a continuous backup from the SD card if you're really that worried about it. But you don't need to attach a hard drive. You can attach a flash drive if you want. I mean, if your data is really that precious that you're worried about losing it, consider backing up things. The backup, plan should be like at least like a 3-2-1, 3 different backups, 2 different mediums, and one of them being off-site. And where the fuck am I supposed to go on this map? All right. I love how this like ship keeps falling apart and we're still going.
Out of here now.
So isn't that bad to read right on SD card? Yes and no. Just depends on the I/O hit.
Blaskowitz. Come. Everyone is gathered.
Everyone is gathered. I guess we're sending Caroline's body off. Interesting how he took the body, but not the head.
Like that.
Alive.
Alive.
Install Ubuntu on my Pi 4, and I'll try to at least build the Docker container before submitting the pull request. Okay.
All they felt.
It really depends on the I/O things. Like in the terms of like what my stuff's doing to write to the SD card. If you notice, the Twitch bot I had it writing a text file to at least verify if it posted, and then all that. It doesn't do a lot. Yeah, I use high endurance SD cards too.
Like it never was.
Yeah, always back things up. It always amazes me. So many people are like, "Oh my god, my entire life's on this computer," and I'm like, "Do you have a backup?" And they're like, "Wait, what?"
Check up on you. I worry about your health. And I better eat something.
I think a lot of people just don't understand just how fragile a lot of technology is and how easily you can lose a lot of data.
Set. He knows as well as I do. What I got, he can't cure.
Should move this to the top left for the screen. You know what? Hold on. Options, video. I was wondering why it looked weird. Okay. I was like, wait a minute, it looks a little weird. And I was like, yeah, there we go.
Okay, Max. It's time.
Max house.
Hey, Max. Why you look so glum?
I'm paranoid to back up, and I still lose that NVMe that broke when I lost electricity and the PSU died too.
So humans can eat. And we have run out of
Max sure likes his crayons.
no picky food.
This is why you don't name animals that can be food. If you ever name an animal anything, you name it breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Snack is acceptable. I also ditched the modem and the SPF fibers coming straight into a Cisco switch that I manage with pfSense. Nice. I wish I had fiber coming in so that I could actually do a little bit more, but I have to deal with just a modem converting it, basically. Yesterday you were talking about RAID, use 5 and 6 in my lab. Yeah, 5 and 6 is pretty good for most cases. Except pets.
I'll miss her. Good leader.
Hello.
Not like the
No,
foul mouth
not
of
you.
Scott. Hey.
Je veux test me.
Fergus can be very sweet when he wants.
That you are being
Like when he's
eaten
yelling at
from
people
the
for
inside.
Or cursing them out in front of everyone.
Bon.
Alright, where am I supposed to go?
But does he have to be so damn mean about it? He's always very...
Okay, so I need to visit Set. Okay, where the hell am I supposed to go? Graphics always look amazing. It's actually a pretty old game. But yeah. This 3070 actually does a good lot of,
How are you feeling in head, Mr. Stamets?
does work pretty well. One of the reasons why I don't even see the point in going past a,
I imagine he's got more important things to tend to.
1080p,
Can you two knobheads move that conversation elsewhere so I can get
is because a lot of games still only really need just that. A game with 3060 Ti. How do you keep dogs smelling decent without harming them? You bathe them. You can run DeepSeek R1 on a Raspberry Pi. Yeah, I've heard that. I haven't tried it myself. But I wouldn't be surprised. You probably just can't do the full model. And you're probably going to need at least a 4 gig or 8 gig, or preferably an 8 gig.
I can't believe Caroline is dead. Who will lead us now?
The angry Scottish man, I think.
Interim leadership, you mean? Until we find some more suitable...
Where, oh where do we need to run? You know, I really wish that there was just like a frickin' arrow that just said, hey, yeah, go here, schmuck. Where the hell? Caroline's room, Max's room, mission objective. Oh, if I need to go there, then it'd probably be around here. Oh, there we go. Set's lab.
No! What the hell is that thing? This is not the thing, Simpson. This is not the thing. This is the body of a squirrel monkey and the head.
Most of the video in Discord. Cool. I have an AMD card, 7800 XT. AMDs are fine if you don't want to do streaming or need CUDA or anything like that.
Captured the U-boat. A few months later, she was dying of bowel cancer when I stumbled upon this practically brain-dead monkey chewing on a blasting cap and...
Is that a cat monkey?
Lower your axe. You're making me nervous. This is not only my favorite animal. This is most probably my most significant scientific achievement. Yes, you are significant. You're hungry?
That's a cat monkey. What the fuck?
In order to do a cross-species head transplant, you need to A, bridge the spinal column. She's okay. B, harmonize otherwise totally recalcitrant biological system, respiratory and circulatory.
Okay, I get it. Spare me the science mumbo jumbo.
What am I doing? I'm like an old kachka. You had such a long day, and I'm sorry. Let's see. You want something for the sleep, Ingela?
No, I just need to keep busy.
Distractions, huh?
Hmm.
I understand. We all grieve in different ways, but I have a perfect distraction.
That's always really interesting in these games.
2 days ago, Anya
I still want to get Wolfenstein 2009 working.
It's almost finished, but
I may need to track down an actual disc. Just like I need to do Gears of War 1.
Cut the machine, went Adolf Hitler on me, started running Michigan in there. So
You still need to finish up Gears 5, but it's not taking it down. Been played through before. The tech used to create the plays a big role. Tried to not spoil the indigenous tie-in. Yeah.
Okay, I'll have a look.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
In sad times, I like to listen to music.
Okay.
You like music, Herr Blazkowicz?
No, let's see where we go. As an urban fantasy writer myself. Oh yeah, the story in this version of Wolfenstein has been great.
Fuck off, whoever you are.
Okay, it was out here. Out here. God damn it. Are you fucking kidding me?
Hold on. Can you check the second?
Of course, me.
I really hate how this whole thing is laid out. Let me get to the damn... Nope. Best kernel for gaming? It's not really a best kernel, it's just whatever works best with your hardware. There's always new kernels coming out.
Pleasure, Captain Blazkowicz.
Alright, where do we need to go? So how do I get over here? So what the best works with my hardware and how do I know? Does it do the things you need? Alright, where do we need to go? Okay, so what? Do I gotta run around there? Yeah, they really need like a
Hello, Captain.
guide arrow thing. So distro hopping. Not necessarily. Different distros use the same kernel. They're all updating their kernels. Oh, there we go. This fucking sub is so confusing.
Gonna make me chase you, ain't you?
I got an upgrade kit. Machining pistol. We'll make you armor piercing. Oh, it went down there.
Seth's gotta be more careful with his experiments.
All right.
You're back, Shimshon. How was my shooting range?
Well done, Yingler.
You fresh apple, you.
Herr Blazkowicz, your lady, Anya, she...
Oh, yes.
All right.
Anya found Caroline's notes about the American resistance over New York
So,
City. Look for her in Caroline's room.
all right. We need to go to Caroline's room. Where do we need to head? Go. Okay.
William. I can still smell her in here. I found Caroline's notes on the American resistance of New York City. I know their exact location. Can you look for Fergus for me? He's been back.
I gotta do all the running around.
I asked him to bring me some nitroglycerin from the ammo depot, but he hasn't returned. Go to the ammo depot next to the shooting range and find him.
Running back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Jesus.
All right, Fergus. How's the arm?
You think German was a good side? Bro, they were killing you too, Muhammad.
What happened to your face? I think she's trying to kill me, Blasco. Last what? Have you ever drifted off peacefully to sleep, only to be brutally awoken by your own prosthetic arm savagely gobbing you in the eye? Had to turn it off.
Is that normal? What's that say?
Something about there being a learning curve and whatnot. How I needed to learn how to trust it. I don't know. I'll tell you, I don't think I'll be using it to take a piss anytime soon.
Maybe it's like training a game dog. You show weakness and it pounds. What you gotta do is show that thing who's in charge.
Right. Well, you just stand there and be ready to step in case looks like I'm about to die.
Hmm.
All right. There we go. That's a good girl. You're a good girl. Oh, fuck! Fuck, that deceitful face!
His arm's trying to kill him. What the fuck?
Stop it! For the love of God! Oh, no, gotcha. All right, everything's fine. Calm down. There's a good girl. There's a good girl.
You, high and tight there, Commander?
Oh. Yeah. Everything's under control. Right this way.
Fergus is definitely losing it.
Helmet 5.
I have reviewed Caroline's notes. The New York City resistance group is concealed at the top of the state building. Said I assumed a high altitude.
Okay, so we're going to the Empire State Building, it looks like.
Right. However, we can simply fly in there in our Nazi helicopters because we're gonna be shot down.
Can't we re-establish contact there and let them know our helicopters are friendly?
I've looked, but I couldn't find any means of contacting them in Caroline's notes.
Bloody hell. Well, we'll need to approach from ground level then. Introduce ourselves properly, face to face.
Ground level. The whole city is saturated by fallout from the Nazi atom bomb. Lethal levels of radiation if we go there without protective wear.
Yeah, well, this one.
I think you forget about the entire World War II and how the Nazis were going across Africa and everything to enslave everybody. Just because America drops bombs on us now, doesn't mean Germany wasn't back then. You're really ignorant of how the southern front of the war was. It only stopped at El Alamein. My family in Morocco almost got attacked by the Germans too. You're really ignorant of history here.
It's not New York underground crawling with crocodiles.
No, I'm from Texas.
And here's the reality. As bad as America is today, I don't think you understand just how bad the Nazis were. Yes, America's bad, but...
Women. Children.
As bad as the things we've done, it's not to the level of what these people were doing. hell? Why am I not climbing up? Here we go. It's here. I didn't see the German do that. You didn't see it, but you weren't around in the 40s, were you? You weren't around in the 30s. You weren't around when they were calling us, you know, scum. If you were not blonde-haired, blue-eyed, you were fucking shit to them. That's the reality. Do I not have my laser craft work? Oh, there it is. There we go.
Glasgow, find your way through the bombed out city and reach the state building. Faster the better. Fergus out.
Alright, let's see. Damn. This is New York? Okay, we got some signals. Okay, then go look up all the history of what the actual Nazis literally had. They had tons of footage. The concentration camps and everything. It's not about who wrote the history. The Nazis literally recorded their own history. Go learn your fucking history. They would have killed you just as much for being an Arab as me being Jewish. And me being Jewish and an Arab, not a good combo. They cared more about their Aryan race supremacy. You just stumbled across some ignorant fuck about history that doesn't understand that the Nazis themselves would have killed them. Just treated them like a fucking pet toy. Oh yeah, great, we're your enemy, but you're a little pet. That's how the Nazis would have treated them. We're here for one thing and one thing only. Killing Nazis. Alright, let's get that Enigma code. Alright, we got some ammo. There we go. I really wish I could just pick up armor just by stepping on it instead of having to act on it. My cat's weird. Drowning your mouse toys in water. What the fuck? Your cat is a sadist. Your cat is playing with its food. But then again, cats are just fucking assholes, so. I just saw, where was there a helmet? I could have sworn there was some armor around here. There we go. And we're climbing up the ladder. All right, max health, max armor, there we go. Cool. Sam on the Stumgaro. Where the hell am I supposed to go? At least in the last Wolfenstein game, it was a little bit more straightforward on where to go. I feel like they tried to do the whole open-ended thing a little bit too much. It doesn't really play out as well. Wish I could kick that door open. Make more sense. Okay, we're upstairs. Yep, that scope was definitely a good choice. Right. 100 meters that way. Earliest government coup taking the country from within. News just said Trump offering 7 months' pay to anyone who resigns to replace with people he trusts. I don't know how 7 months of pay is going to work for a lot of these people that are basically just lifetime bureaucrats. And I'm also not sure how legal that is. On one hand, he's trying to, like, cut budgets unnecessarily. On the other hand, he's doing shit like this. Oh, yep, that was a nut shot. Hold on.
Circumcision confirmed. Final test.
Okay, it's off to my left. I hear the drone. I knew I heard a drone. Alright, 30 meters away. We got the signal. Yeah, the world's going to hell in a handbasket. Hold on. How do I change fire modes? Control, keyboard bindings. Toggle dual wield. Fire right weapon, iron sight, lean cover. I'll go right weapon upgrade. Okay, C. Oh, there we go. Goody. All right. Back out in the open. Okay, we got to get into the subway.
Circumcision confirmed.
Yeah.
Test.
Oh, so I do have dual weapons. I guess we got to go down the hole. Hey man, after you stream, please check Discord. The code build and the Docker starts. Okay. I'll at least take a look at it. I don't know how in depth I'll be, because I do go to bed, like, shortly after I, get this stream finished, but yeah. Looking forward to it. Okay, so we need to get down to the subway.
Long walk to the state building. Caroline, will you help light the way?
Dogs are different in this game. Okay, nothing down that way. Let's keep going. Fucking gators in the subway sewer?
Goddamn. Should have listened to Bombate.
Bars. There we go. Alright. Duck down here. Crawl in here. Surprised there's still power down here. Could have sworn I saw someone else here. Hey, just joined the Discord? Nice.
Some way to power up this old train.
Oh, I blew him up, that's why. Oh, so we got a flamethrower. Turn on the generator.
Okay, train's got power. Let's find the controls and see if it moves.
Got grenades. Weapon upgrade. Let's see when we upgrade. What do we want to upgrade? Machine and pistol. And grenade, heavy weapons. Jungle magazine. Double magazines stayed together for being the first two magazines instead of a reload. Machine and pistol. Heat up bullets before leaving the gun, making the travel slower. Drum magazine. Ooh. Yeah. Suppressor would be nice. Open Susie? Nope. Pop OS Linux. Wait, where the hell am I supposed to go? Oh. There we go. That was easy peasy lemon squeezy. Can it run on BSD too? I haven't seen anyone doing Steam on BSD. They released 2404. Wait, what? Pop OS 2204 is too outdated of a kernel for my video card. 7800 XT needs 6.4 new. You can throw a newer kernel on Pop OS.
Ignore the pain. Ain't dead. So keep moving.
Yeah, in fact, it's getting close to around end of my stream time anyway. I can actually check that for you. One sec. What kernel am I on? Uname-A. I am on 6.9. So, don't... The reality of what a lot of people need to understand is that Pop OS 2204 isn't like Ubuntu. They do backport newer kernels. So I'm on 6.9. And I haven't done anything fancy. You can see it yourself. Six 6.9.3. There you go. So it should work fine. You may just have to do an update out the box for your GPU. That's about it. But thank you all for joining me. If you haven't already, make sure to follow me on all of my socials. I am on Blue Sky. I'm on Mastodon. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Twitch. I'm on TikTok. And I have a Discord. I have a Matrix server as well. So if you haven't already, join me over there. And I will see you all Thursday. This Thursday, we should have a new piece of hardware to demo for all of you with an open source media player called the Tangara. Ordered that about a year ago when I was supporting it, and we'll be talking a little bit about it. I'll have TikTok content dedicated on. I'll have a YouTube going into it. I'll also have to make a YouTube talking about the whole DeepSeek, running it all locally and everything like that. And, we'll have some great stuff to go there. I'm gonna, be back on Thursday for my next stream, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And don't forget, we got movie night this week as well on Discord. This week, we're gonna be doing The Sound of Music Saturday at 9 p.m. I will officially announce that in the Discord tomorrow. But thank you all for joining me. Stick around for the raid if you're on Twitch. Happy hacking, and I will see you Thursday.